Good evening, everybody. It would help if I would take myself off mute. Rarely happens that I mute myself and forget. How are y'all doing? Let me pull the chat up so I can see what's going on here. Welcome back in, guys. If you joined us earlier today, you heard me say we were going to do this show, and we are here back for this episode tonight. And I really appreciate all of you who are going to come in and be a part of this show. It's a special show. We got a lot to talk about, and it's important. And so please hit the like button, share the information. Let's get this story into the algorithm because it's important. We see too many streams pop off about the missing. What are we doing about it? Can we do something about it? How can we help and be proactive? So that's going to be our focus for today. Now I need to touch on one thing for like 5 minutes and maybe not even that long, and I'm going to let it go for right this minute. The Gonzalez family has made an interesting post on their page. And there's a little channel they like. Her name is, oh, for fuck's sake, Vivian. One of my mods I'll do it. If you can, Butterfly, for fuck's sake, Vivian. Her Christmas gift for the Pro Burgers. Go find that link and drop it in chat, please. And y'all see what this family combats every day, all day on the internet. So when we sit here and think none of it's important to them that the people with an opposing opinion, their voices become as loud as the pro-burger voices do right now. Pro-burger voices are. You know what I'm saying? So let's help them be loud if they want to be loud, right? We're not going to ask them to sit down and be quiet. Not our business, not our job. But they want to come speak, we're going to support it. So with that said, we're going to get on with today's show. Guys, Danielle Bell is a local case for me. I hate to even say it that way. It is a local missing child's case. It is a case I have followed since the day that little girl disappeared in my hometown. I was a young mother of little girls. Couldn't imagine realizing my baby's gone. I also didn't imagine we would be sitting here 25 years later still wondering where this beautiful child is. This is Danielle Bell. I have a playlist because I'm trying to be a better creator. There's about 4 shows in there right now. I went back this morning or earlier and grabbed my other shows I've done and threw them in there. There's a past show we did with Bonnie Bell. Bonnie Bell is the sister, the older sister of Danielle Bell. All those years of me watching that case and waiting on something big to happen, I had no idea who Bonnie Bell was. And we're in the same town, guys. I had no idea she was doing everything she was out there doing. And I wish I had known all those years ago, because it's important. And to have support and help and people that could come and help you and help get, the word out, help hit the street, canvass the neighborhoods, talk to the people. All these things she had been trying to get done quietly behind the scenes. And then, I don't know when it happened, but her voice came and it's loud. And we appreciate it because Bonnie Bell is the biggest voice her sister ever had and needed, right? She is proactive in keeping her name out there, keeping her story out there, getting it to mainstream media like Nancy Grace, like News Nation. And you don't believe how hard these families have to fight to even get that out there. Y'all know how many times Nancy Grace gets approached, will you do this story on my family member? I'm sure it happens a lot. And I don't know if I would be any different. If I would go to CrimeCon and be begging them all, please, please help, right? We're going to ask for the help. So those efforts have been moved forward. And luckily, we did get a Nancy Grace podcast last year. We've gotten some News Nation coverage, but there's not a lot, guys. These cases grow cold, and then that's where they seem to stay. How do they get there, right? Is it bad investigation, lack of investigation, not much to go on to begin with? one or two or a bunch of people not talking, many things can happen during these investigations. So I'm going to bring up Bonnie Bell now. And like I said, Bonnie is Danielle's sister. This is an older photo of the two of them, and I absolutely adore this photo. From the day I first saw it, I was like, that's my girls. You know, it's like me and my sisters. I am the big sister. I got three of them under me. You can't come at them. I can, but you better not. I don't care what she just did. That's my sister. We'll discuss what she did in a minute. First, I got to figure out what I got to do to you. What you did to my sister. All right. So we can appreciate that dynamic, right? That family dynamic of loving your sister and wanting to be her voice and keeping it out there. So without further ado, let me get Bonnie up here and she's going to come in and introduce herself and have a conversation with us, guys. Hello, ma'am. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing good. I am. I'm more concerned about you. I want to make sure you're good. And bless your heart for getting this done.
Yeah. Well, first I want to make sure my audio is okay. I have a new headset I'm using, so.
Okay, you sound okay to me. Chat, how does Bonnie sound? She's got a new headset she's trying out, and we need to make sure that we're good to go with the sound. I get a little delay on my end of the chat, so I got to wait a second. One of you mods, let us know. Go ahead, Bonnie. Start talking, and then
Yeah.
they can kind of gauge you.
Yeah, well, first thank you for having me on here. Like you said, I've been on here before and discussed the case, and um currently we just put out something called Danielle's Law. We're trying to make some change in other areas because after 25 years of dealing with this, there are so many areas in which can be improved. So I appreciate you having me on to talk about that and Danielle's case.
Yeah, anytime. I mean, when I saw that you were doing trying to push forward with this law, and I read it, I was like, oh man, we need this so bad. And a lot of us here that cover the cases, especially the missing children, the criteria for the Amber Alerts, we've been discussing that for the longest time, how that needs to be re-examined, right? And in your case, there was no Amber Alert for your sister. I don't even think
Correct.
Amber Alert was a thing back then, was it?
Well, Amber Alerts were, I think they came out in 1996, and Danielle went missing in 2001.
Right.
Um, and they immediately classified her as a runaway because they failed to ask questions that would have led to them understanding that she was endangered.
Right. And that right there is the biggest takeaway. When there was a little girl here, what was it, year before last, she ran away like twice back to back. But the thing is, that didn't matter to the public. She was missing, right? For police to come in immediately and classify runaway, we'll see if she comes back. We'll look around, ask. That to me, if the cops feel this is a runaway, they feel she's not in danger. They wanted to go. They could be in danger regardless, right? I don't care how these kids go missing, they're just missing, and regardless of the circumstance, we got to go find them.
Yeah, and another thing that I have seen that I found appalling was habitual runaway classification, meaning the
Oh,
child or it's usually, a teen that
mm-hmm.
is run away, and I put that in quotes, you can't see me, but run away multiple times. And instead of there being some type of home life investigation, because I'm I'm not an expert, but just the people I've talked to, the stories I've read, most of these teens that are habitual runaways are running away from something at home. So, like, the system that we have in place is not working.
It isn't working. And I think with your sister's case, it could have made a lot of difference. It would have made all the difference in the world. Because nobody when your mom, when you, let me back up, when your sister didn't come home, Your mom didn't know that she was a runaway. You know what I mean? So for cops to assume that and just classify it as that immediately because you wasn't she went to a party and never came back, right? So
Right, right. And this my mom waited 2 days to call the
yeah.
police to report her missing. So I think that that showed the police a lack of care from, her, but
Mhm.
also making it appear like this is a regular thing for her
Right.
not to come home, which we did end up finding out years later that that was the case. That it wasn't uncommon for my mom to allow my sister to be gone for an entire weekend and not really know where she's at.
Yeah, and I still think that, like you said, with when they find out that your mom waited, did they say, okay, well, there's not a heightened concern, like you just said? And did mom make it feel like this is normal? It's not no big deal. Do you think your mom would have called? Because didn't you go back to you went over, right? Or you contacted your mom or your sister and no Danielle? How did that actually? You and I have talked about it before, but to give people a little backstory, because we're not going to go into too much detail unless Bonnie wants to about everything, but to give a little backstory of what happened that night to kind of set the stage for what actually went down.
Yeah, so my parents had divorced, so my sister was living with our mom and our grandmother and my mom's boyfriend at the time. And my mom was her primary caregiver. On Friday, September 28th, my sister left home to go to a party in a park with other neighborhood friends. From that party, she left and went with some other individuals and was last seen in or Cantonment, Gonzales, Florida, at 588 Cedar Tree Lane, the home of Robert Bassett. She doesn't come home Saturday. My mom did call a couple of her friends to tell her that she needed to call and check in, supposedly. But it wasn't until Sunday evening that my mom called our dad and said, "Hey, I I don't know where Danielle's at. She hasn't come home. Should I call the police?" And he's like, "Yeah, you should call the police." And that's Sunday night. Um, and that's when they take the report and list her as a runaway. I didn't find out till Monday morning when I just happened to call, and my grandma told me what was going on, and I went over there, and then that's when we, started searching this endless search. So she definitely neglected to make proper decisions and notifying the police. And there's a lot behind why we think that is. But we do know that my mom didn't provide the information to the police officers that she should have, which is that my sister was being abused by a 24-year-old man and that he had threatened to kill her if she told anyone because she thought she was pregnant. And we also found out that my mom was buying her drugs from this man. And when you put all of it together, it is considered human trafficking because we believe that my mom was allowing this to happen. Whether it was consciously or unconsciously, I don't know. I mean, I'm guessing consciously
Yeah.
that she was getting drugs from this man that was abusing my sister in
And
exchange.
right, and that wasn't known immediately, was it? Did you ever have suspicions when you were because I think you were just kind of realizing all of this, right? Because you were already a young adult and moved out of the home.
Yeah,
So
so I
you
would, yeah.
weren't there every day to see the ins and outs, right?
Right. So I was 20 and I had already moved out. I was in the local area going to college, working three jobs, just trying to make it. And so,
Yeah.
no, I did not know the ins and outs of what was happening. I had met this man about 2 weeks prior to when my sister disappeared. He had shown up over at my mom's house and that didn't go well. My mom basically told me that my sister was babysitting for this guy. And so when she first come up missing, I like this guy wasn't on my mind. Like he was not my first thought until later that day. My mom told me and my dad about how she found out, supposedly had just recently found out that he was giving her drugs and my sister drugs, and they had been having sex, and my sister thought she was pregnant, and he had threatened to kill her and all of this stuff. And so that information was just shocking, right? Like,
Yeah.
I had had no previous clue. And as throughout the years, my mom was a heavy addict. So when she would sober up, sometimes I would be, like, have her in my life, and then other times I would just cut her off. And
Yeah.
it and I can't tell you that it wasn't in the back of my mind. All I knew is that something wasn't right. Her story wasn't right. It didn't make sense. It didn't completely add up. And so I started trying to get onto podcast, you know, I don't know, 10 years ago or so, and she didn't want me to. She
Oh,
didn't,
really?
yeah. She just didn't want it to be out in the media or publicized like that outside of the local area. And so, that kept me kind of quiet, and it was really frustrating because at the same time, I was confused and traumatized, quite frankly, for a
I
long time. Like, you
Yeah,
know,
I can only imagine you're taking in this information that you've just found out from your mom, knowing what is going on with your mom. When did when was your first conversation with police about Alfredo? Because there's a whole thing about this guy, y'all. This man's in prison right now for
so yeah.
assault. So there's a whole lot there. But so I don't know when when people at the party talking to the police, if the police, I don't know who they spoke to, of course. You probably know more about that, of who we can get a running list of who was at the party. But no one alerted, to, hey, this guy or anything. I don't know when he became on their radar as far as law enforcement, if it wasn't from the family saying, hey, this guy could be a red flag.
You know, I want to say I was pulled in for questioning within the first 6 weeks,
Okay.
6 to 8 weeks. And it was at that time, I basically said, "Hey, this is everything about my family. I don't know." Because I was 20, Alfredo was 24. They thought that maybe my sister had met Alfredo through me, that I was friends with Alfredo and all of them. I had no clue who these guys were prior to this. Like, I didn't know them. And
Mhm.
so I was like, hey, I told them everything that I knew about my mother's addictions, how we grew up, the relationship between my parents. Because at that point in time, I was like, I have no idea what happened. I have no idea where my sister is. I don't trust anyone at this point. So, and then that's when I started learning more about Alfredo. And he was pretty much evading the police questioning at first. Then, when he did sit down with them the first time, he denied knowing who Danielle was. His story kept changing. His little brother's story, Alex Sanchez, his
Mhm.
story kept changing. So, around 2005, we got a really awesome detective by the name of Mark Smeester. Um, he he put in the work. He put the case together against Alfredo. They had, I think, about 12 eyewitness reports of him engaging in everything from, coercive control of Danielle to giving her drugs and then having sex to, just affection between each other. So that is how they were able to get those charges against
So
him.
Mark really helped build that case. He was with the Escambia County Sheriff's Department.
Yeah, he left there back in 2013 or 14, and he made a lot of movement on Danielle's
What a
case.
shame that he's gone.
It is a shame that he's gone. He was a really great asset, and I wish that he would, have stayed, because he's amazing at what he does. And ever since him, we have been through detective after detective after detective.
It's so sad.
We,
That floors me that that happens. I mean, I know they get detectives come and go, but some have long tenures with their departments. And when you get, it's like doctors, you find that one you love after all the ones you had to go through to find that one, and then he bails on you and goes somewhere else. You're like, oh no. I can only imagine that you guys, and I wonder too, and I don't think people realize with, like you just said, all the different detectives you move through, you have to go in each time and say say your case over. I mean, dealing with each one each new time has to be a little head slamming against the wall, I can
Oh,
imagine.
yeah. I mean, that's putting it kindly. Um,
Mm.
so we are, yeah, I mean, multiple times there were leads that came through to me on social media, and that was before I even had a strong social media presence. I would turn them over to the police, wait 2 or 3 weeks to see if they'd follow up on them, and they wouldn't. So I would go follow up on it. So, I put myself in some risky situations in the past. T-
Yeah, and
And
that's
what
something I don't think people can, it, because that reminds me of the Crystal Rogers case, where her father fought for Crystal and was investigating her disappearance on his own, it felt like. And a year later, that man was retaliated against and he's no longer with us.
right.
And now Crystal finally has a conviction in her case, and now they're hoping we can get the same for Tommy, her father. But that it's dangerous for you when you have to be in that position when the cops won't investigate it. Do you just ignore it or do you go do it yourself and take that risk? I totally am on board. I would have done the same thing you did.
I mean, I c- so essentially, throughout the years, just I collected information and I would turn it over. We also were lucky enough to get Brad Dennis with Class Kids, who worked with Mark Schmeester on collecting information. And I have in the past not said some of the things about the sheriff's department and that relationship,
Hmm.
to try to keep the peace.
I'll say
But
it for
the thing is that if you look up my sister's case, one of the most recent interviews that the detective did on WEAR3, he says that there are 13 binders
I
of
see.
information, yeah, of information in the Danielle Bell case. Those binders came from Class Kids.
Wait a minute, because I have that news clip. You're kidding me. That
No,
that
ma'am, I'm not kidding you.
Okay, as I'm sitting there watching that, Bonnie, and we have these 13 binders, and he shows them. I'm like, I want my hands on those binders. And are you trying to tell me that's from y'all's investigation? Because that's the way it came off. That came from Class Kids investigation.
Yes, ma'am. I'm gonna say out of the 13, at least 10 of them.
Wow. I've got a
And
lot of respect for that foundation and for Mark.
Well, Brad Dennis has moved on and started his own thing now.
Okay.
And he's focused on human trafficking. He's an amazing human being, and we appreciate all of the work that he did. But, and I'm aware that, sometimes people have to take risk and doing their own investigations through these nonprofit agencies. And I have a theory that Class Kids, Brad Dennis, got shut down by the Escambia County Sheriff's Office and threatened to, you know, if they are investigating a case without a PI license, that could be a problem.
Uh, for the
Is that
Klaus Kids Foundation people?
yeah, for Brad Dennis? I do. I have a theory about that. Don't quote
So
me on it.
I got news for you, Escambia County Sheriff's Department. Don't make me. I already didn't care for that old sheriff. I'm trying to give this other guy. I just ignored it. But there's always issues with that department for some reason.
Always.
Um, Especially when it came to Danielle Bell's case.
Hmm.
I don't know why it always seemed off. I don't know if it was because the rumors that swirled around the community. I could not tell you. My sister and I cannot put our finger on it. And we've heard all the rumors. People on the streets to this day are still talking, but they're talking about one thing: Bassett's statement, you know, um, about where Danielle supposedly is. So That's the kind of stuff that it bothers me about the community, the people who were there, the people who now 25 years later, what you know now, don't be so afraid to come and share that you were afraid 25 years ago. Don't go spreading rumors around a town for that to trickle out and get into other places when none of it may or may not be true. And people have all these questions and no answers. And I never thought in a million years we would sit here 25 years later still trying to figure out what happened to Danielle, because I just couldn't wrap my head around. In the 70s, we were whatever, but in the 90s, I was a young mom and knew, hey, we've been warned about the guy in the van trying to get our babies, right? And then you think, well, from the 70s to the 90s, how much has changed? There's cameras around now. Now look at it, 2026 compared to 2001, even when Danielle disappeared. It's so hard to continue to even say this still happens, that they just
Right.
disappeared in thin air without anything to show where they went. It's so hard. I can't imagine that walk. But for the sheriff's department to not make any good leads, and can't get anywhere, regardless of what they think a suspect may or may not look like. They haven't gotten anywhere. Why turn away any and all help, or make threats or insinuate a threat could be coming? You know what I mean? I don't, that's not the way to handle these cases.
No, and I 100% agree. We one of my final breaking points with them was when I put I had proof that my mom was prostituting, and that was actually confirmed by Brad Dennis because he took her photo to the front desk of the Queen Mary Inn on Davis Highway in Pensacola, Florida,
Mhm.
and they confirmed that she had been kicked out because she had had so many men in and out of the room. And if you know that hotel,
I
you know what
do.
I'm talking about. Yeah.
I do.
So you rent by the hour, half day, whatever. So
The
um
no-tell motel.
and I turned that over to the sheriff's department and I said, at that time I was like, I'm out. I'm done. I'm done with this. I can't handle this. I I packed my stuff up and I moved 1,400 miles away because I was afraid of what I was going to do to my own mother at that point.
Yeah.
And so, you know, she passed away in 2020. I followed up with the sheriff's department. I was like, "Did you ever question her about this? Like, did you ever put two and two together?" They said, "Well, we tried to bring her in, she never came in." And I was like, "You've got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me." I tried again in 2023, flew down there, had a meeting with them, and I said, "Hey, I've been gaining some momentum and building community on social media. I've gotten some upcoming national coverage. What are we doing?" And they gave me the whole runaround. Oh, we're gonna do we're gonna take give us 3 months to put a plan together, and we will do a panel review and pull in people from different areas of the sheriff's department to do this panel review because there's so much information in your sister's case. And I was like, okay, cool, sounds good. So I wait the 3 months, didn't get and I didn't hear from them. So I gave them another month and I followed up and I got the canned response. Um, this is an active investigation. We're not able to release any information at that time. And so I went on a podcast spree, and I was like, well, I'm just going to get louder. And so that's kind of what I'm trying to continue to do. And also, make change where I can. Because as much as I want to find my sister, I feel so committed to do this work
Yeah.
that I have to go beyond that at some point because it'll make you crazy if you
I
solely focus on that.
I can imagine that right there, like you just said, if you're just solely focused on that, and which you always will be, trying to find that answer, but also redirecting some of that energy into a more positive space, to make it so that it's not for nothing. you know, because you've seen
Right.
problems, you've seen how these cases play out and the holes in them and the way they're mishandled, and you have more experience than that than any of us do. So who better to bring that to the forefront? And like you just touched on something also, you've reached out to the police over and over, and now you've let them know, I'm gaining a social media following and I'm going to be loud. Families should not be resorted to having to come to social media and being loud to be heard. But that's the way it is right now, and that's the way it has to be. We're going to help get those voices heard because you should have been given a national platform to talk about this, to talk about the law, to talk about what it implies, what the foundation of the law is, and how people can help push it forward. I haven't seen that anywhere yet. I hope it comes.
Yeah, me too. And that's, I'm here for the long haul for this one. I put a lot of work into this, so I'm pretty proud of it. And I also look and know that it's a lot in this law and like this petition. I can't really call it a law yet because it hasn't been, it's not passed, but this petition. So I'm just, if anything, if we can just save one person or make change in one state, that would be great. But I really would like to see a massive overhaul of change in the United States when it comes to this stuff.
I think and I hope that being in Florida helps you. And I say that because of what happened after Gannon Stock had his autopsies released and the FOIA requests, and they were put behind a paid paywall for people to go buy and view. We passed laws after that to protect children. You're no longer going to get those autopsy and those reports and those photos to go disseminate and sell to people on the internet. You're just not going to happen. A lot of laws have been after the state of Florida allowed a child to go missing on their watch in the state's care, and the community, the state found out, citizens were like, excuse us, we're not tolerating this. We pushed back and we have change now. Is it perfect? No. But people like you bringing these laws and these petitions for these laws to the attention of everybody. And I want you to go in and give us some background on the law itself, what you want to see in the law and how what it's actually going to look like, or we want what you would like for it to look like.
Yeah, so what I would like to see, well, I actually have it pulled up here, so I can
You're
kind of tell you.
No, go ahead, and I'm going to let everybody know I have a link tree pinned in chat. That link tree is Bonnie's link. It's missing Danielle Bell page there. It's got everything on there. The link to the petition, links to Bonnie's social media platforms as well, and I believe the mods are also dropping links into the chat as well. And navigating advocacy, welcome in. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Okay, Bonnie.
Hello.
Hey, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Pammy's in the audience too. Thank you guys for all y'all
Hi.
giving support. We so appreciate it.
Yes, thank you for being here. Much appreciated. So, the key provisions. First and foremost, I know this is a big one that a lot of people want to see, and I cannot agree more, is eliminate the runaway label.
Yes.
Um, we briefly talked about that before, but it does is create delays. And again, we have to be children. I think we should be children centered in the decisions that we make in society. And if we see a kid that is a habitual runaway, there has to be something else going on at home. So
Mhm.
I think those two things go together. Um, Mandatory investigative questions require law enforcement to systematically gather information about the relationships the child was involved with, technology, medical needs, immediate risk.
I think too a lot of times when law enforcement's met with they could be a runaway, they think it's just an unruly child who doesn't want to stay home and follow a couple of rules. Like you just said, ask why that child's a habitual runaway. Does somebody
Right,
bother to ask the child? Right?
exactly, exactly. Okay. Um, taking immediate action. So deploying search team with there. I have a chronological order. I gave 6 hours to deploy a search team, and I went back and forth. I mean, ideally, I'd like to see it in 30 minutes,
Yeah.
but I know the work that it takes. But we should already be prepared for that.
And,
We
I thought about that point too, Bonnie, the 6 hours, right? But like you and I both know, you got to assemble the teams, you have to get a game plan, where are we gonna search, bring in the dogs, it has to be a coordinated effort. Yes, the public coming in to help is amazing, but if y'all watch the Nancy Guthrie searches, you see how easily the public can screw it up in a heartbeat by stepping on the wrong thing, picking up the wrong thing, being on private property when they shouldn't be. So back to the 6 hour gap there. I agree with that because you don't want to get a kidnapper. If the child is not a runaway, even if they are, you don't want to give them that big of a jump on everything. While everybody's waiting on the child to come home, or let's wait and see attitude, they could be hours and hours and hours away. And just to assemble a team to get them on the ground in 6 hours, it's still a logistics thing. So I get we want them there sooner, yeah, but 6 hours I think's a good. I don't see anything wrong with that, Bonnie.
well, I think about like a special operations team, whether that's SWAT or federal, whatever it might be. There are so many missing children in this country. I think that it warrants special ops teams that are focused just on, immediate action with searching. And that should be a team of officers that are dedicated to just that, in my personal opinion.
No, I
So,
think I think Chad is agreeing with that. Our good friend Keith here is agreeing as well. Police departments have 24/7 on-call hostage negotiators in most major cities. Why don't we have 2 to 3 detectives ready to deploy immediately? Now, if y'all go back and listen to the 911 calls in the Madeline Soto case, her grandma literally calls them back twice. Hello, I reported my granddaughter missing. Is somebody coming? Man, we'll be there right away. We'll be there as soon as we can. We have officers have been deployed. Hours and hours and hours go by before the first cop ever shows up at the house. That's uncalled
yep.
for.
Um, Along with the immediate action, securing any electronic evidence, social media. You hear a lot of cases where knowing the location of the cell phone would have been helpful, but there's so much red tape through that. Um, that also is going to take a special operations.
I think what they need to start doing is because they want warrants to get into the phones. How do you get a warrant for a missing person's phone? They need to sit down and change the criteria and speak to some really good lawyers about that. I don't think if I go missing, they have my permission to search my phone. Right? I'm not going to come back and be big mad later that you went in my phone without a search warrant. That's a different story than criminal cases where they're illegally search warranting or searching phones, right? But like to your point, they don't go look at the phones right away. There's no crime yet. There's no, and family members who share locations. That's how you see these locations, and you can show the cop, hey, this is the last place I saw them. But for them to get into that phone or even to the accounts is it's a challenge if no law is committed yet or crime. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I think it's important that in this law we're talking about children.
Yeah.
We're talking about children, not legal adults, right? That can just disappear if they would like. I hate to say that. They can say they don't want to contact people, but
Mhm.
these are kids. That's a totally different ball game that I'm not
And
going to
it,
argue, but
and with that said, if you're a parent of a child, a minor child with a phone, you give the right to take that phone and go look into it. Like I get the physical phone may not be there if a child has a phone, but the records are there. Are they communicating with anybody, right? Um,
yeah.
so that's a no-brainer almost. So a lot of the things you're putting in this and that you want done to me are common sense pieces. It should be in the legislation. I
Right.
don't think don't second guess yourself if that's what you know what I mean? I know I understand that part of it because you wanna make sure it's a good quality law that's gonna matter, but don't think you're asking for too much because I don't think any of us think that you are.
Well, I appreciate you saying that. Okay, so the next one, alert schools, transit hubs, national databases. Instantly. None of this waiting as soon as the report's in.
Yeah. It the faster the information is out there for all of law enforcement to accept to access quickly. I'm in Northwest Florida. I can be in 4, 5 different states by the end of the day.
Yeah, that area is interesting with alerts
Yeah, that's really
because
a crazy area right through here. That corridor around, yeah, that we know what happens on that corridor. Um, a lot of things on that I-10 corridor, but you can literally leave where I'm at right now, and I can be in 5 different states by the end of the day. That's a
yep,
problem when people are taking children and just jumping the state lines and they're gone. That 6 hour gap. We're waiting on the boots on the ground efforts, guys, because the law says I can't for 6 hours. That child is long gone. It's
yeah.
crazy. Go ahead.
Oh, this one's personal. Hold guardians accountable. Prosecute parents who delay reporting.
I think that's something we all understand, and I hate that you even had to put that in there, but you did because that was your experience. We've seen that happen too many times in cases we cover here. When we start unpacking some of these cases, they weren't reported missing right away. In children's cases, who can imagine not reporting a child immediately? Not a wait and see, or getting their story straight somewhere behind the scenes before they make the call. It's always suspicious when those calls don't go in right away.
Yeah,
So I feel like that's not a bad thing to ask for. Parents, I'm tired of parents not being accountable. I have children. I know I'm not responsible for all their little idiotic decisions, but by God, they're mine. I am responsible in the end.
right.
So, yeah, it's up to me to call when one is missing, not to wait around. So I applaud that part of it, honestly.
Yeah, it's, I mean, and I know there's been some other legislation proposed and I think passed in a couple of states that do. Um, Kaylee's Law is one, but this I'm viewing as an inclusive, right? Like it's inclusive, comprehensive. So I'm also open to feedback, folks, because I can edit the position. I was nervous about that before I put it up. I was like, I want to be able to take feedback. So if you guys see something that's not in here, I do want to know.
Yeah, we can definitely. And guys, I will let me I can pull it up, but we have the link in the chat there, and I was going to read. We can read out. Keith says part of the mandatory investigative questioning should feature questions regarding why and how the parent waited so long. Yeah, because you don't know if the parent's guilty of something at that point, right, or not
Right.
guilty, or just a checked out parent. You don't ever know which. Look at the Melody Buzzard case. That lady didn't report that child missing, and when she did, it was a bunch of different stories. Oh, I took her here, I took her there, she's in a safe place. That lady's in jail right now for harming her child. That's yet to even come to trial, or whatever that weirdness is that lady was doing. But she failed to report. She failed, and then she lied once she started making the report. So sometimes it can be at the hands of the parent. Sometimes in your case, though, a checked out parent who wasn't paying close enough attention. And unfortunately, that's how a lot of young women get into trouble in this country. Boys too.
Hmm.
When you don't have that good structure at home, and the got a checked out parent, you're probably going to go a little bit off a little bit off the not crazy, but off that go see what I can get away with thing. You know what I mean? And then if you fall in with the wrong friend group, it's not even to be bad friends, just kids out partying and doing their thing. But when a parent's not tuned in, we all know how that goes. You do more and more, and you get away with more and more. And then when something happens, they're like, "Oh, well, it's probably nothing," and that's sad for the child.
Yeah. It's
It
it's
really
an
is.
it's an atrocity. It's beyond my comprehension, to be honest. So
Well, and with you, I'm sure it had to be so rough because you grew up with your mother, and you know that all the things, and then to realize that it's just that it could have been so different. So I can only imagine that struggle that you went through with that. I've seen the interviews with your mom. I know she and Cindy would talk occasionally and things like that. I didn't know your mom. I never met her. I never had a conversation with her. I only saw what I saw in the news, which was not that much, to be honest. There was never a
yeah,
lot. continuing local coverage on Danielle's case after a certain point very early on in this when this happened. Other than the rumors running around Cantonment, Florida, that still, as of yes,
Still,
we're still
oh,
running around.
well, yeah, I will be, I want to address that before before I get off here too.
Okay.
Um, and then the last key provision, and I think one of the most important, is transparency and training, requiring officers to document all steps and receive annual training on trauma informed interviews.
Mm, I like that.
You know, yeah, that's all I'm going to say about that one.
Well, I think that it's time for change. And I said this when Sebastian Rogers disappeared and the Tennessee Bureau of Investigations continued to act like we're supposed to sit here and be patient and wait for them to come out and tell us what's up. I kept hearing that and I kept saying, y'all know, come on, give us something. I know you got to keep it close to the chest. I'll get all that, but you got to give the public something. We need this child's face out there. We need the story out there. We need it out there. But nope, nope, nope. Mum's the word. We got to protect the investigation. I don't know what they're protecting at some point. And interviewing families, interviewing those who are traumatized, and making sense of what the families are saying and recognizing certain things that are happening, because it's easy to um, fool an officer, I guess, that we see mothers do it, even those of missing that are guilty of something, be trying to talk their way out of things, mothers that are not completely in where they should be in their headspace, not reporting things, but cops interviewing people and realizing some
Yeah.
things, and trying to, I mean, they're not psychologists. I get it. They're cops asking questions, but they also got to understand that I think maybe that where their years of training comes in, maybe their experience will come in a little better, but you get these younger cops that may not know enough. I don't know. It's just really, there's a lot that I think they could do differently, especially with children's cases. If you take a parent may have done something out of the equation, just a straight up child goes missing walking right down Main from one house to the next or from school bus stop to home, child is gone. You got a traumatized family immediately. My child is gone. You would expect that. There's just, I think they need to bring in teams, have a dedicated team on these departments, even if it's 3 people, send them to special training to be the one to go out and interview families, to be the one to go out and interview victims, to be the ones to go out and interview the people who saw them last, and work collectively towards that goal.
Yeah, absolutely. I think training is everything. I've said it before. I don't know what the criteria is. I'm sure it depends on the department, but I know for Escambia County for a long time, you just did, what is it, like police training, 9 months, and you get a gun and a badge, and
And that's
they
scary.
these
Oh
go ahead.
God. That's just scary for this town that some of these people can come out there and train for a few months and oh boy, now they're one of our coppers. I just can't with that. Um, Let me ask you this. You started working with a foundation. Is it a network of missing? Is it a network of families of the missing that get together and share information like a clearinghouse? Because you have a
Yeah,
couple detectives working with you now, right?
right. So, yes and yes. So,
Okay.
the network of is called Advocacy Con, and it's a conference that is put by together by people in the space. So Eric, who is the brother of Jacob, who was a baby when he was murdered. Whitney and Melissa from the Navigating Advocacy podcast put this together. So yeah, it's like a coalition or all of these networks of people, and
Mhm.
I was able to find Private Eye for the Missing and was paired with Gary and Tamala Martin, and thank God because I had collected all of that information, especially got a lot right after News Nation aired, and I was overwhelmed. I was so overwhelmed. I felt paralyzed on a way. So,
Oh, poor.
volunteers from the Advocacy Con group and the Reignited Project, it's a whole bunch of people working together, um, put together this spreadsheet for me to give to the PIs. It started with, I think, 40 leads, and they are currently working on some additional like documenting, and they've had, I think, 128 people come forward. And yeah, that's a lot of people, right?
Yeah,
Um, and almost, if you think about it, it's impossible for 128 people to know. So we're
yeah,
at a point where we're asking, what is your firsthand knowledge? Not what you think you know, not what, like the,
that
the 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 fact of the matter is that there are people surrounding the Sanchez brothers, specifically Alexander Sanchez, the little brother, that know stuff and are refusing to talk, and that's really frustrating.
yeah, the thing about that is those they like to talk to each other in the streets. They're too chicken shit to go to the police and do it. They'd
Hmm.
rather sit around town in the woods, I think, and talk about stuff they don't know what unless they do. I don't know. Like I said, that rumor mill was alive and well, nothing you can do about it. I don't with these tips that come in, like you just touched on something, it's now it's about don't tell me what you think you know. What do you actually know? Because when we were unpacking a lot of the documents in the Idaho 4 case, it's literally in there. There are people who are out there who will place bogus calls to tip lines. There's a particular lady who does it over and over and over in investigations into high profile cases. It's documented by the FBI. They know it's her each and every time. She did the same thing
That's
in the Idaho 4 case. So you got people out there. These there's some unhinged people out here. It is what it is. We can't sugarcoat it, and they will want to be a part of something, and they want to insert themselves, and they want to call in false tips. I can only imagine having to field you by yourself, taking in all these tips and then going through them and trying to decipher what's real and what isn't, what you actually follow up on. That had to be extremely overwhelming. So to hear you have help now with professionals who can help you move through that and navigate it is everything.
I
So
mean, yeah, it is everything, and I cannot speak highly enough of them. We really got lucky in that regard. So I'm appreciative of that. It's also exhausting to, I coming off of where a space now where I'm like, people reach out and I'm like, nope, call Gary and Tamala. That's where I send you, and those there's a few people that surround the case that were either friends of Danielle's or around that at that time were a victim of these same dudes that I'll always talk to, but I can't keep taking it in all the time. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword. But what's amazing is that I don't I don't have the feeling that I have to take it all in. So that in itself is a relief. But I'm tired.
I imagine you are, and you want to make sure the information is in good qualified hands that are really going to pay attention and not just sitting on a desk in the police department hoping somebody looks at that tip, you know? And you now having that, and I bet it was hard to wrestle with just let them have it and let and me be okay with it, right? Because I can imagine you have a hard time trusting the process as far as how this stuff's investigated. So I'm glad that you could finally get a team on board that gives you that comfort that you can let them handle it and you can get that rest you need because it is a lot. And I bet it is extremely exhausting. Just the weight of not knowing would be exhausting enough, but you've went and done more, than what a lot of families can do. Um, it's not easy to come out here and do what you're doing. So we understand that, and I want you to know that I don't know how you do it every day, constantly, because this has to be draining. So I hope you are taking care of yourself I'm push all you want because that's all you've got at this point. But at the same time, we want to see you take care of yourself. So I'm glad that there's this network of families that see what you have been through and they've been through the same thing, and y'all can get together and network and find these advocacy groups and this help that's needed, because I don't think people are aware of how much is actually out there. It feels like there's not a lot sometimes, but then when you start looking, there is a lot. But is there enough to go around for all of the missing families?
Yeah,
I have,
100%
do they have to
agree.
reach out?
And
Did you have to reach out to that type of agency? Did someone tell you about it? Your networking got you there, or I mean, I'm curious
well,
what
yeah,
happens.
so they were at the conference that I was at last year, but
Okay.
and I knew they were around, but I didn't like pursue it for some reason. I was in the middle of all this other stuff, but I got to a point where I was like, the police weren't responding to us the way we needed them to, and my dad has been on this journey with me as well. He's the
Mhm.
one that calls them, and is waiting for the detective's call and tracking down locations. There's more locations, and talking to people and as well and in the local community. So it's been quite a journey, but one of the biggest stress relieves we have is we get an update from Gary and Tamla every Friday, and they send mine via email. And then if I have follow-up questions or they have follow-up questions, we'll talk on the phone. And then they always call my dad, but my dad and I always like call each other right afterwards, and we'll spend an hour on the phone venting. And we move, that's kind of how it goes these days. And coming up with, trying to figure out what we can do and comparing information that we've gotten. So yeah,
Well, this September will be 25 years,
yeah,
and I don't know what the local community plans to do, if anything. I don't know what the sheriff's department plans to do, if anything. They're going to have to acknowledge it because a lot of us are going to make sure they do. They're not going to have a choice. To acknowledge the fact that Danielle Bell has now been missing 25 years and they have allegedly 13 binders of information. Are those 13 binders indicating where hog pens were at? Like, what's in the binders?
it,
Interviews from friends at the party? What's in the
all
binders?
yeah, all kinds of stuff is in those binders. And
Right.
my hope is that they at least at minimum share those with the private investigators, with the Martins, and that's what
Well,
we're
Cindy told me
hoping
one
for.
I hope so too, because Cindy is Tiffany Daniels' mom. Y'all, Tiffany Daniels is another local missing girl. Tiffany wasn't a child. She was a young woman, but she's still not found to this day. Cindy told me that when her investigative team reached out to the sheriff's department trying to get the records on Tiffany's investigation, no, ma'am, open investigation. You can't have them today or tomorrow or the next day. Now, with that said, Ellen Greenberg case, her family has had to fight all the way to the Supreme Court to get those investigative files. Law enforcement needs to stop it. After so many years of cold case, share the information with the family's private detectives if they want you to do so. If they're giving you the approval, why not at this point?
Yeah, or you know, Lonnie's Law, where Allison, her daughter, is trying to, and has been working on it for a while, get after, I think, don't quote me, 20 years, that the case files are open to the families. I personally think it's ridiculous that after 20, 30, 40 years, you won't release the files. What?
Mm, it's
Why?
exactly because you know how if you all these cold cases and old cases, fresh eyes are on them and now they're solved. Maybe they need to give them to the private investigators to help get fresh eyes on them. Maybe there's a tip buried in there that somebody missed 20 years ago, 25 years ago. They didn't think was important on that day, but right now it could be the smoking gun sitting there in that file nobody's cracked open and dusted off in 10 years.
Yeah,
So why not let them peel through it and look through everything and see what was missed and how can we go back? And maybe nothing was missed, but somebody's not talking, because you can have a feeling all day long somebody's got to point a finger, somebody has to know something. And in this particular case, the few people that apparently were there, nobody's really said a word or knows anything. Because in the end, Danielle, or sorry, Bonnie, when Danielle left, so there was a party at the park, right? They
Right.
all go over to Bassett's house. From there, her and her friend decides, I'm ready to go home. So Alex takes the girls to the friend's house, but Danielle decides, I want to go back to the party. At that point, I don't know who all was back at the quote unquote party, or if it was just Bassett there. And she returns back with Alex, and it's just her, Bassett, and Alex at that point. I don't know where Alfredo is.
I don't know either, but I sure would like to know. And I
Would
bet you
you?
Alex Sanchez could tell you.
I bet you he could. Was he picked up on the way back to Bassett's? Did he meet you at Bassett's? What happened when you got back to Bassett's with Danielle, Alex?
Exactly my point. And so, I have to be nice,
I know.
but but you know, also Alex knows. I
Mm,
mean, Alex knows. And so I've talked about him, but I don't talk about him nearly as much. But I think, the quiet ones are the ones that you have to worry about. And I
yep.
also think that um, showing refusal to talk is an admission in itself, and that you are going to suffer the consequences one way or another, this lifetime or the next. And I hope that you are haunted every day, Alex. That is honestly how I feel about it. And
Oh,
so,
I can't blame you. We're seeing another father push back hard in this space, and he doesn't care what happened to that guy either. And we don't blame you. You don't have to worry about that here. You got every right, in my opinion, to feel the way y'all do, families do about these people, because how the hell they can be walking around, right? And you're suffering, wondering where your loved one is, knowing they probably hold the answer to where your loved one is, and they're just out there walking around willy nilly like nothing's happened. And it's not right. And it's not fair. And if there's no, they didn't, but when Danielle was reported missing, they didn't even search Bassett's house, the
no,
last place she was seen. They didn't bother to go search it. Like, we took her home. No, we took her back. Okay, if you brought her back, I need to search your house to make sure. But a couple years later, they did go back and look at the septic tank on his property. Now, why would you come back and do that? Now you're following up on what tips and leads. I mean, I appreciate the effort. I really do appreciate them doing that. But why the septic tank? Why not dig up the whole entire yard? Why not search the house early on, looking for physical evidence that A, she was even there? Was there a struggle? Different things that could have went on. I feel like there was a lot of critical evidence and time lost right then. Now we're going to need a confession from
yeah,
somebody.
yeah, exactly. And that's why, I say I can't make that my sole focus.
Right.
And, that's my hope, is that there's some kind of change made. So please sign the petition. I'm hoping to, see it picked up by somebody and soon.
Well, we're going to try to help get it signed and push it out there, and also watch it here in Florida, because I think it needs to start here in Florida. And I know some people who have tried to push legislation through before, and I'm already got a couple of things out there. Um, I want to
Yeah.
know, what can we do? What's our next step, right? How do we really shore up this law into a package that can be absorbed by the masses, and that Congress will be okay with? Because they got the little finicky hands about everything. Some days they're okay with things, some days they're not. I could care less. They need to focus on what matters as far as these criminal cases go. And that's where my forefront's always at in these cases, because I don't want the wrong people locked up, but I want justice for victims above all else. And when investigations aren't done properly from the onset, it's always problematic for every case we see. It does not matter how the case, what it's about, how it began, or how it ends. If from the beginning it was not investigated properly, we got problems. And the children's cases, man, they deserve all of our attention and effort from the beginning. And I think these families need advocacy. They need their voices heard. They need people to help be their voices, right? So, well, like I say, it's one thing to come here and talk about the crime all day, but what else am I doing about it? Am I trying to be proactive and trying to help these families get their message out there? And so, did we lose her? Are you there, Bonnie? I think she fell off and came back, guys. Hold on. Whoops. Are you there?
I am here.
You
Sorry, I
all.
don't know what happened.
It kicked you out, but you came back. That's fine. But so anything we can do to help and keep an eye on this, do you have anybody working with you as far as trying to get it pushed through the legislation? After how many names are needed? What's the next step? Do we
You
even know?
know, that's a great question, and I do not have anybody working with me at this time. Um, I think, I'm shooting for as many as possible. I don't, I mean, until somebody picks it up or makes a change, I think 100,000 would be a great start.
Yeah, we're gonna put. I want to everybody sign it. We've got the link in the chat. Get it signed, and we're gonna make sure we try to help get this legislation pushed through. Find out what the next steps are, where we go, because there's a lot of key elements in the proposed legislation that I think are key to helping children. We have to be their voices. Children are children. They look up to the adults to be their voices. And if they're not getting it at home, they need you to be their advocate. But I think anybody agrees when a child is missing, by God, let's do everything right now. Stop everything. Lindsay says, may I ask a question? Have there been any prostitution stings in the area? Girl, we got low level prostitution out there on the streets in downtown or in certain areas. There may be a bigger call girl type thing for the rich guys in town. That's always been there. Them girls from the strip joint working their second job as the girl on the arm for the rich guy, but not like that. Sanchez brothers, in my opinion, they're not running a big prostitution ring. They're out there just low life in it, partying and hanging out with young girls. And now Sanchez is doing 30 years in prison.
Yeah, 45, I think is what he got. He
45,
doesn't.
actually. Yeah.
Let's do a little Florida inmate search because I think I was looking
Okay.
at Bassett not long ago, and it looked like he's getting out sooner than
Was he in the county, Bassett?
no, he is in probably Century. Hold on.
That fixing to close,
Oh,
Century.
he's in Holmes work camp.
Oh, he's in Holmes work camp. Oh boy, good for him. Let's see. I may or may not know a guy. What was
And
he in
then
for last time?
well, he got out and then went back,
Dante.
which I think is hilarious. I mean, him being having to go back. He violated his probation or no contact order. I think he reached out to one of the victim's kids.
Did Sanchez plead guilty to the charges that he's currently incarcerated on? Is that what happened to
No,
him?
Nolo.
Okay, because I got his appeal. Well, he it wasn't granted, but it's curious because there's a case happening right now where I want to take see back see my little plea deal. Sanchez tried the same thing, or I want to take back my plea deal. Yeah, Sanchez tried the same thing, and I do have that document. I'm not going to go over it right now. Let's see. I
Yeah,
think
Sanchez is in until 2045.
where is he at right now? Do we know which one he's in?
Swanee.
Oh, I love my Florida penitentiaries. Y'all ask Stefan Stearns. It's not a real nice stay. Now, but Sanchez is going to be in quite a while still. It's
Yeah,
Bassett. Robert Bassett is the home, guys, where Danielle was at the party that night.
right.
And interestingly enough, let me get this pulled up. I want to read you guys something. I'll show you. And Bonnie, I don't know if this is actually how things went down, but maybe you can elaborate because I've always known it was out there. I just wasn't sure how it came about. But so apparently Bassett was in a comment section
Yeah,
and somebody says, "What'd you do to that white girl?" And he
yeah.
says back, "I put her in a hog pen." Now, I'm not, Bonnie knows this information. This is why it's like a matter of fact conversation because
Hmm.
it's been out there for 25 years. Um, is that all he's ever said in those chats, comments? He's been a little asshole, hadn't he?
Oh yeah, he's such a POS. So he on one North Escambia article, he said that he offered the family an independent lie detector test, no takers. And I was like, well, who'd you ask? Our mom? No one. She couldn't. What do you? Who are you asking? Are you asking me? Are you asking like Matt? Because we don't recall being asked that. Like so that offer still stands. We're happy to help make that happen for you. Matter of fact, we just talked about it the other day. So he's basically I posted the screenshot of it online, and he got up. Robert got upset. So this came through. He was in an all black group on like Facebook, being derogatory towards women as usual,
Mm.
and that's how that screenshot came about. Somebody sent it to me, and of course, he treats all women like crap. So he wanted me to take it down. I said no. Um, he talked to law enforcement, and saying that it was a joke, which is the same thing his girlfriend at the time told me.
That he was just joking when when asked the question, "What'd you do with the white girl?" He jokes back and says that. Well, that wasn't real
And
cute of
the hog bin,
yeah,
and that's been one of the number one rumors in her case.
the number one rumor. And
Yes.
what people don't understand when they are like, "Well, can you go find the hog pens?" Literally, Cantonment, Florida, especially 25 years ago, is still a rural area. It's a lot more populated now, but there's literally hog pens in people's backyards. We're not looking for hog farms. That's in the Carolinas. We have hog pens in the backyard. I don't, but I know people who did. That was always a concern to me if there was anything to that statement. Maybe he was just being an asshole when he said it, but he shouldn't have said it. That still don't mean he doesn't know something. Why was his septic tank searched? What was the tip? They can't scratch their heads and go, "You know what, guys? That guy Bassett, she was at that house. We should probably go search that septic tank." That's a good idea, boys. Let's go call up the septic tank people. That's not how it works, people. We have to have a search warrant with probable cause. So I would love to see that search warrant. And maybe it's time to put in a FOIA request.
You
But it's an
should.
open investigation, right? We'll do it
You
anyway to
should.
see we're going to do it anyway. So this article came out. Which one was this? Back then, the North Escambia was the only one really putting out a lot of information consistently. 2010, septic tank searched in 9-year-old cold case of missing teen Danielle Bell. Investigators found nothing Thursday when they searched a septic tank in connection with the 2001 disappearance of Tate High School student Danielle Bell. Am I pronouncing that right, Bonnie? Is it
Y-
Arian?
yeah.
Ari? Okay, Arian. Okay, I like it's different. I love different names. The Escambia County Sheriff's Office Cold Case Unit served a search warrant at a home in the 500 block of Cedar Tree Lane in Cantonment, the same home where Bell was reportedly last seen at a party. Again, Sheriff's Department, not my first rodeo. Probable cause to search the septic tank. What was it? Asking for a friend. As a part of the
Yeah.
search warrant, a septic tank behind the resident was pumped out, and the dogs from the Escambia County Search and Rescue were also used around the home. 9 years later, all right, and they did not find anything, said Ted Roy, spokesperson for the Escambia County Sheriff's Department. Investigators and Roy would not say what new information led to Thursday's search. Bell was last seen 9 years ago and on the night of September 28th, 2001, and the early morning of September 29th, 2001, at the home on Cedar Tree Lane, between Highway 29 and Highway 95A, where nothing good happens after midnight. I promise y'all that. Bell is believed to have been the victim of violence, according to the Escambia County Sheriff's Department. Now, again, no follow ups from reporters. Nothing. Why'd you search that house? What was no follow-ups whatsoever. A little blurb here and there. Nice to know they searched, but why?
I don't know.
I mean, I
Can't.
don't.
Yeah.
People, I think, just take it for granted the cops know everything. And if there's something there, they're going to find it one day. And then they may forget about these cases because, let's be real, life goes on. They got their lives full. But if it's on the news every night or every other night or at least once a year, it's there. And maybe somebody from 25 years ago attending that party will remember, oh, yeah, I do know things about that night. That was a lifetime ago for me, but maybe they'll feel comfortable enough now to come and share. Again, I don't know who all was there. I don't even know if you know who all was there or not there when she got back to the house, right? Because
Yeah.
that
No, we don't know. I don't even know if she made it back to that house. I'm beginning to have
exactly.
my doubts, to be honest with you.
Me too. Me too, because the only two people in that car once they dropped off Danielle's friend at her house that we know of, according to her friend, right, was just Alex and Danielle.
Yep.
And Alex is the younger brother to Alfredo Sanchez. And during the course of the investigation, they eventually got charges on Alfredo, and took a plea deal and has since tried to retract his plea deal, but it didn't work. Uh, um, and now that guy's doing 45 years in state prison for assault on Danielle Bell. Now, how could they slap assault charges on a guy and throw him in prison 45 years with all the rumors out there about him and her? They got to have evidence to charge him with a murder
Right.
or a kidnap,
And
you know?
yeah, I mean, you know, one thing we can confirm, because he admitted it himself, is that she was last seen in the car with Alex Sanchez headed back to Robert Bassett's house. And for me, I'm at a point where I'm like, we need to go straight to that source. That source is what holds that information. So,
Absolutely. And I don't know where Alex is today, if he's still around these parts or not. He could
oh,
be
he's
in
still
prison.
around.
Is he still oh, good Lord.
Mhm.
Thanks. I'm out on the edge of town. I'm good. Come on out here. We're in Florida. Stand your ground and all. I mean, this old country girl ain't too scared. Them are my streets. I grew up in that town before these people were ever thought of. I'm talking directly to y'all, Sanchez Bassett's of the world. Those are my streets y'all were messing around on, taking little girls off of, and I didn't take kindly to it at all. I know all the back streets and back roads and backwoods and between 95A and Highway 29, my old stomping grounds. Maybe it's time to return to the old stomping grounds and have a look-see-loo.
I
I don't know.
mean,
It's
listen,
wild to me that they didn't classifying her as the runaway immediately. I get your mom not calling immediately was a huge failure, but we're gonna have to let that go for now. But the police, once they received the information, to just handle it in that manner and not go aggressively into an investigation was a huge problem.
yeah, I mean, from the very beginning, and I don't disagree with that. I do think this case could have been work been put into it and the appropriate resources. So that's,
Yeah, I mean, it may
it
not
is what it is at this point.
yeah, I mean, it you may not have a different outcome as far as having your sister here with you, but by God, you could have gotten uh, somewhere with the case, found out some answers, found out something that gives you an indication as to what happened. Because I couldn't imagine going to bed every night and saying to my sister, I'm sorry, because I know that's probably what you do. I don't know what, I could not, I just can't imagine it. And I think a lot of us sit in that space when we want y'all to be able to find these answers and you deserve it. And law enforcement's got to treat the families better. They got to treat the victims better. We see it every day with the cases we cover.
Yeah,
Watching the Lindsay Clancy case, no matter where people sit with that, to see what they're painting her as, they're doing this all wrong. It feels like they want public's support and let's do this, but no, we want to see y'all support what's right. Not what you think's going to win you the next election, not what you think's going to keep you in the prosecutor's office. We don't care. We want justice for victims. And I think anytime a child is missing, everything stops and all eyes go on that right then and there. Because we could recover a lot of these kids a lot quicker if we don't waste our time waiting.
yeah, I 100% agree and hope to see some change in my lifetime. I really do appreciate you letting me come on here and talk about everything. And
Well, anytime you need a platform or a space or just want to get a new message out about what you're doing, you know how to find me. You just let me know. We are open for that. And Pammy, I appreciate you. Your daughter, where is she? Is she still with us?
Whitney,
Navigating advocacy. Yeah, Whitney, thank you for coming in. I can't say enough for people who like that, who show up for the families and victims and give that support and give y'all the space you need to navigate and do what you need to do. People will look at it and say, "Oh, that's exploiting." No, it's not. Not if a family wants a platform to be heard and you do it and let them do it. That's not an exploitation to me. Um, it's exploiting if I ignore the family and just rah 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 all day long. So
yeah, yeah, and it's a great resource. You just have to be able to do it ethically, and that's why I appreciate advocacy podcast. Can you hear me? My phone is cutting out. Sorry. Um,
you were fine.
all
You were
of the
cutting in and out just a little
resources.
bit here at the bottom.
Yeah, all of the advocates. I don't know how they do it. It's a lot. It's a lot to take in. I would imagine, but we need more trained people. That's why like the
Yeah,
trauma informed police interviews and ugh, I
yeah.
can't. It's made well, for me, it's made just a difference to feel the support that I get from the group. Um, that comes from a collective of people, family members, advocates. But there's always someone that you can turn to, and that in itself has been a big game changer for me.
I can only imagine you found people like you, that
Yeah.
have been through similar situations so they understand it and they know the difficulties. And when you're out there like you have been alone, it felt like probably the lone wolf, because we dropped the links to Bonnie's socials in the chat as well, because she goes hard for justice for her sister, and that alone, to keep that up's got to be exhausting. I'm sure there's days you don't even want to deal with it,
No,
but
I
you
mean, I haven't been posting a whole lot lately, and that's I have to be okay with that. I've
You
been like,
certainly do.
it's crazy because somebody approved me to be a speaker. I I'm happy to share. I'm happy that I submitted the application and I get to do this, but imposter syndrome is real, and I'm going to be talking about using social media for advocacy. And I've been pressuring myself to keep posting because of that. And I'm like, you know what? That's not like true. That's not authentic. And
There you go.
um the
Thank you.
process, yeah. And so yeah,
Look,
I'm
you're
really excited to share. I think at this point, I'm just chill.
so what is that gonna be about? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so it's the Advocacy Con conference. It's the second one, and I came out. Last year's conference. I um, wanted to be able to contribute in a way that gave family members like to feel empowered and have just like the basic knowledge to feel comfortable enough to use video to post on social media, because
Yeah.
that was kind of a game changer for me. And so that's basically what I'm going to be talking about, but it's kind of actually evolving a little bit because I've been I want to include like other family members that are doing similar things, like uh, Jennifer and Adrian Wick's sister and aunt is does a lot of like text posts, and hers are pretty powerful. And so I've been looking into like other ways that people are using it. So I'm just happy to be able to share it all in one place, and that's what I'm going to be talking about basically. Um,
Good for
it,
you. I mean, I
it's expanding.
no, you're good. I mean, you I don't think you realize you who probably, question what am I doing in this space, but you're doing fine. You know what I mean? Don't pressure yourself. Don't think I have to get up and do X, Y, and Z because I don't think you need to do it that. You know what I mean? I don't know how to
Yeah,
right or wrong either. We can all use our platforms to get it out there to the masses, but at the same time, don't pressure yourself. It's not good for you in the long run. And I think Danielle would want you to do what's best for you as well. And just having you there and knowing you care and trying to be that voice and navigate it. And it probably does become so overwhelming. Sometimes you want to give up. Sometimes what am I doing it for? And all the things. So to have that group around you where you can bounce off them and figure out ideas and them being there for you when you need it and learning how to use social media as a platform to get your message out, because right now we're seeing that families are having to turn to social media to be their voice because the
right,
prosecutors aren't standing up for them, law enforcement's not standing up for them, half the people aren't standing up for them. So they're left to
right.
do it on their own.
Yeah, and and I feel like some people um, either are scared to do it, or you know, for me, I liked the video aspect of it because it was easy to catch people's attention. I could be, you know, just pick up my phone and say what I had to say at the time. But I think that for me, it's also learning that there are different ways, and I want to be able to communicate that as well. There's just so many ways you can use social media these days.
And I'll tell
So
you, y'all probably need to dust off your little YouTube channel somewhat.
I, girl, that thing's a mess.
Get some welcome to my hot mess express.
uh, that was some the worst audio on there, and when I first started, and I was
Hey, it's a
that,
learning curve, it's a
yeah,
learning curve, but s the YouTube it's weird because YouTube is YouTube, TikTok is TikTok, and Facebook is Facebook, and
yep,
I don't have I don't have a platform on each one of those platforms. That's a lot for me to social I can't do all that, but it's a very different they're all 3 very different. I feel they all have a different little world happening, and way you approach TikTok is not the way you approach YouTube, in my opinion. I think it's a different formats, you know what I mean? And I just think
yep,
that a lot of people who are on YouTube don't even go to Facebook anymore, or TikTok. I think a lot of people also believe TikTok's where it's at for true crime. I hope they know, please don't.
Let me
Not
tell you.
just be careful on TikTok, guys. Missing families, go support them, but true crimers, be weary.
Yeah, yeah. And so, yeah, you just have to, yeah, you have to be selective. And I'm not afraid to say that I will be selective because
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can't, I can't do some of these people.
Well,
And so,
I think a lot of that goofiness that we see also, we need to get rid of all that in this space sometimes, because it takes away from a serious message.
yeah,
And we're being cutesy pie about crime and making cute little TikToks to get and YouTubes. What are we doing? I don't know how to entertain when I'm talking about crime.
yeah,
So I feel it feels weird and icky to me, and on purpose, and I don't want no part of that weird stuff. But I
right.
think it takes away from the seriousness sometimes. And I don't know, I guess people's lives are so overwhelmed that we can sit down for an hour and just blindly scroll the TikTok and get all the dopamine we need, and we're done, and didn't retain a damn thing about what they just watched, especially crime.
Yeah, yeah, no,
Yeah,
I agree. And that's what I want to, that's why, I think it's important that family members feel like they at least have the knowledge, you
yeah.
know, to do it. And I think that that's important. But
And it is, and also giving a family a safe place to come and say what they think and feel without feeling like they have to be guarded, or they may be attacked for it. Because I hate to say it about YouTube, it can almost be the worst place for missing families to show up,
it can be tick.
especially in the beginning, you know, because YouTube
Yes.
loves to point a good finger. They just can't, they're like, oh, my finger, I got to point it somewhere. Oh, it's at you. And I'm like, "Whoa, y'all are weird," and I don't like that aspect, but we're trying to do what we can to change that out here, right?
Yeah.
Use these platforms in positive ways, and your push to do that, I think, is beautiful. And if we can support it anytime, we're gonna do that. And I wanted to make sure everybody had the links to help sign the petition and try to get this legislation uh, shaped, packaged, and moved through to do what we got to do. You know what I mean? I think it's just so important. So for you to even think about it and consider that these laws need to happen, and then to put it out there for everybody and say, hey guys, here it is. Now help me fix it. I think that's beautiful, because you are relying on uh, people to help you. And I think that's also a good thing, that you trust enough to say, hey guys, if you see anything, let me know. I want the feedback. I love that. And I appreciate you for doing that.
Yeah, of course. Well, I am gonna go stuff my face now.
You go right ahead. Um, you do that, and we appreciate you coming on again and sharing Danielle's story. I got the in the description, guys. You'll find the link to my playlist. You can go back and see the other show I did with Bonnie, where we really went into a lot of in-depth detail about the case itself. And I don't want to have Bonnie go through all that again tonight when we've done it, and you guys can go back and watch it. So Bonnie, thank you again. Let us know how things are going and keep me informed so we can make sure we're getting this out there as we need to. And I'm going to check into some things as well, as far as getting the legislation pushed through. What are the next steps and things like
That
that.
would be great. Yeah. Thank you
All right.
so much. Have a good night, everyone.
Welcome. And thank you for coming up. We appreciate you, Bonnie. Have a
All
great
right.
night.
You too. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Oh, guys. Wow. We can't say it enough. We appreciate Bonnie for coming on and sharing with us Danielle's story, Danielle's case, um, trying to get this signed into law, getting this petition out there for everybody to sign it. The next step will be to help frame the legislation, get it into a package that, like I said, Congress could digest. And honestly, Congress, you shouldn't have any problems passing this sort of legislation. You got no problems deciding when and where we can smoke a joint. You got no problems deciding about dispensaries. and you're cut from the dispensary. You have no problems making ordinances about what we can do in our neighborhoods today. I'm getting silly now because they got no problem telling us what to do. But by God, we want something done and they need to listen. So we will continue to follow that, guys. Morris Dog Mom, you signed earlier. Thank you. Pammy, thank you for being here. And Whitney, thank you for coming in as well. And thank you, Whitney, for being there for Bonnie and helping her through a lot of this as well. I appreciate that. I've always known about you over there, so thank you so much. Um, Social media has the potential for so much good in these cases, and currently so much bad. Right, hybrid? Exactly. There's so much potential to do good on these platforms and to help get the right narrative is not even the word, right? Get the other narrative, I guess you could say. You got this one going, why not help put out another one, right? If not like we're trying to change a narrative, but there's another side with another story you need to hear, right? Instead of someone just popping onto YouTube, scrolling and seeing a live stream about the custody queen saying Koberger's innocent and Dylan's guilty. People are going to go, what? And they're going to consume all that information and go, oh my God, right? All we can do is get the right information out there, and hopefully people will have a chance to see it across the board. And again, oh, let's go look at, for fuck's sakes, Vivian's video before we head out. Again, guys, the link is there to sign the petition. Links are there for all of Bonnie's socials as well. And there's a link for navigating advocacy as well in the chat. Thank you for that. Okay. Remember earlier today, if you guys were here talking about what I was talking about this morning, me going a little unhinged on a Sunday morning, but I don't care. I'm tired of people with bigger platforms on the internet telling me how I'm supposed to think. It's as simple as that. Because I think differently than most. And I always will, and there's nothing you can do to change it, and I'm probably going to always see beyond the veil. I can't help that either. I accepted it decades ago. You should too. Okay, let me pull this up. We don't want to bring life into it, Salty. We're not going to breathe it. We're not going to talk about it. The Gonzalez family may want you to talk about it. 3 hours ago. If you are with us, this is for you. If you are against us, just leave. This is my page. The Gonzalez family has been putting up with people coming directly to their Gonzalez family page on Facebook, talking mad shit, but nobody cares. I do. And it's been going on, Kramajama channels. It's been going on. Get your nose out of each other's asses long enough to realize it. She said, I don't want to hear your opinions either. All right. I think this is absolutely disgusting that people are acting like this. Would these people feel this way if BK did this to their children? Kaylee was unrecognizable. This is the family page putting this out, not my words coming to you on YouTube to make you feel a certain kind of way. This is the actual family's words. So suck it. I don't want to hear your opinions. This is absolutely disgusting that people are acting like this. Would these people feel this way if BK had did this to their children? Kaylee was unrecognizable, badly disfigured. She had brain bleeds, stabbed in the face 24 times, was missing teeth, and 13 stab and incise wounds to her chest and neck. She sat in her bed and fought. People are celebrating. How can you ignore the mounds of evidence against him? These people should be ashamed of themselves. This man will never be exonerated. He will never walk free. You think you are fighting for justice for my daughter? She doesn't need you to fight for her. Justice will come for him when he takes his last breath and enters life in hell. Also, the person that made this YouTube at Vivian, for fuck's sake, that's her name, is Team Goncalves. She was just highlighting some of the stupidity. Now we're going to go take a look, because Miss Ma'am has always brought the business. Viviana's always brought it. It's just, I like her. I've always have. I've known about her for years. She's not new to me, because I am not new to the Idaho 4 case by a long shot. Okay. It's called Christmas for the Pro Burgers. And people asking in chat, oh my God, this is going on the internet. Oh my God. Yeah, it's been going on for quite some time. I'm so shocked that Chroma Drama had no fucking clue that they missed grifters on the internet tearing apart family members. How'd they miss it, I wonder? How'd they miss that? That's their job, right? Take it away, Viviana, and show them how it's really done, ma'am.
So if you follow true crime, then you know earlier this week, the scumbag murderer of Kaylee, Maddie, Xana, and Ethan, the Idaho 4 case, filed a petition for post-conviction relief. Yes, he wants to take back his guilty plea. So of course you knew that sent waves through the true crime community, and some of the more unethical content creators acted like their favorite team won the Super Bowl. I mean, some of them were giving speeches like they had just won the Academy Awards. So I've compiled some highlights, or should I say lowlights, of some of these people, and let's take a watch at these moments of mental health issues, shall we?
And I wish I could really paint this picture to everyone watching, because I know I wasn't on air with Ron and Sam, but I was in the chat and I was so excited that we were getting this information out. And when I first got the information about what had happened in Brian's petition, I was literally at a soccer field, for anyone in California, at Surf Cup in San Diego, my home away from home. And I was on the phone and literally like cheering and screaming, and it wasn't for my son's soccer game, I'll tell you that. And so I wish I had like just someone videoing me, because I was like, yes, yes, yes. And you know, it just kind of gave you some validation that everything we're all doing is for the right reasons. And I'm so glad that Brian actually used his voice.
And I started screaming.
Evaporates.
So awesome. Let me just tell you, this is great.
I got so excited I almost peed myself.
I feel like it's time for a
go
victory
downtown.
dance.
Yeah, I've been victory
That's
dancing all
hilarious.
morning, Jesse. I feel like I want to go downtown.
Oh, God. Jesse, could you go away? Is that Dago? Is that, no, that's somebody else. My eyeballs is tiny. That's tiny writing on the thing. But Jesse, my God, I don't even know what you, I don't even,
And like
does that guy got a brain? I've always wondered.
go to the bars that are near the attorney's offices.
You guys know the way
And
Conor
see who's
McGregor walked
partying.
into the ring like this? I feel like walking in front of Jeff H like this right now.
All right, y'all.
Jeff H., they made fun of you. That guy made fun of you, Jeff H. Go troll him with your Elantra Bug Guard account.
We are doing enough. Koberger taking back the guilty plea. Koberger talks. Ha! All right. You're not missing the block party. Come on in, honey. I just do hope, and I pray, of course, as a believer, that he knows what he's doing. Finally. Final freaking guys. This is crazy. Can you believe this? What is going through your mind right now?
Simi, you said poor Josh. You mean Josh Ritter? Huh. Yeah, poor Josh.
What is absolutely going through your mind right now? We relentlessly have nonstop shared this man's innocence. Whew. It has been a long road for Brian Koberger. Now, what the fuck, Moscow? What did you promise this guy to take the fall? Holy shit. Ooh, don't get me spicy up here on a Monday morning.
Oh,
And this is how we take back
we don't need her spicy on a Monday morning. Good God Almighty.
America. This is how we take back America, folks. This is huge.
That's how we take back America? Fuck. Who? What?
Absolutely huge. He wants a trial. He wants to set the record straight. Wow. How does
I know, Simi, I'm just not a huge fan. I have my reasons. I'm just, he's a talking head on a nice and shiny little podcast, right, Ritter?
this make you guys feel after all of the battling and arguing with the trolls on the internet?
Big day, isn't it? I know you've been waiting.
They actually weren't using his content. They were showing about Brian Kohberger's little plea deal situation. They ain't really concerned about Ritter. They want to hear the content that, by God, our boy just filed a new thingy.
For this day. It's very exciting to see many.
Oh, everybody's posting it, man. I just put it on TikTok. I just went on with some girls just talking about it. She's like, I knew he was innocent. I'm like, I got it. I hope these girls going live right now because I need to go up and what's going on?
Little TikTok girl, what the fuck is happening? You just get a new phone yesterday and found out some shit on the internet's happening?
Damn. Everybody's posting it. Everybody's on the internet right now talking about it.
Oh, yeah. As soon as I got off work, I had literally 6 different people sending me that. Dakota was like crying, having a fucking party.
People were crying and having parties.
We're having a party.
We are having a fucking party.
Dude, I haven't drank so long. I might have a drink tonight. Fuck yeah, let's go. Shit. I'm trying to get drunk tonight with y'all. For real. Yeah, so you already.
Oh, she got her tiny bottle of whiskey. Oh, god dang, it's about to get jiggy in here in this small tiny room. Girl, how many of them little bottles you got around that room? CH, you think? I don't know if he's smart enough. Is he playing dumb? Jesse.
Dang. I'm at work too. I can't wake it up. I'm going to have a drink. We're going to party tonight, guys. I'm so happy. I'm so freaking happy, y'all. Oh my God.
He's appealing his plea deal.
Really?
He's appealing his plea deal. He said he wants a trial.
Fuck yeah.
It's about time, bro.
He wants a trial, y'all.
He literally submitted his appeal in fucking time. Thank God.
I hope.
How in the hell did Brian Kohberger immediately gain all these fans? Because Dylan Mortensen waited 6 hours to make a phone call? Is that what all these dumbass idiots are banking their bullshit on? Oh, and WSU mom Kim saying some shit about some Snapchat calls. Can't forget about Dot, straight out of the TikTok. I was on my porch smoking a cigarette at 8:30 in the morning, and I saw Dylan in the backyard with Emma and what's his name, smoking a blunt. Bitch, you ain't seen none of that shit go down. 'Cause all the fucking cops were there. But you came straight out of Dot? Was you a fake Dot? Brat Norton, was she really fake all that time? I don't know, TikTok, you're fucking insane. Brat Norton, one of their shiny little leader TikTokers, don't know where she's at now, sold her messages with Steve Gonzalez, the family of a dead victim, straight to Howard Bloom, who wrote a fucking book. But you go on with your little tie-dye shirt and your little $2 bottle of whiskey, bitch.
Oh, I'm so happy.
Me too. When the truth comes out.
I'm so happy, y'all. I have fucking chills right now. It's down my spine.
Me too.
What a way to start a Monday.
Is Steven saying, like, thank you to everyone who's been fighting for my innocence and critically going over the evidence?
Yes.
Oh, Kohberger thanked them. He thanked them.
So excited, y'all. Oh my God.
This right here is going to be a hell of a week.
Oh, I'm so excited. Like, I don't know
Everybody's so excited. We've all been waiting for this fucking day.
Yeah.
This is better than Christmas.
Yes.
For real, son. You know what I mean?
Maybe people will come out with the truth for immunity.
The fact that you guys are losing. You guys are just mad because you're losing. You're just mad because you're wrong and you're losing. You're wrong and you're losing. You're wrong and you're losing. You're wrong and you're losing.
Good God. I'm wrong and I'm losing. Honey, how old are you? You got babies? Are they good right at the moment? Are they at their daddy's or their granny's? While you chatted up with all your freaking friends on TikTok to tell grown asses that they stupid.
Should be on the wrong side? Yeah? Sure does.
Yep.
See? Did you see the article, bitch?
Hi, Stacey. I want to know what Brent Turvey's going to come out with because he's going to make a statement, I'm sure.
Somebody please go find Bookie with B. It's safe to come back. It's safe to come back.
Oh my God.
Don't we just feel so vindicated though?
Oh,
Completely vindicated.
Oh my God. Girl, what you gonna do? You act like you was in prison. You act like you gotta survive one day without your baby.
Love it.
Dun, dun, dun. I was driving the car. I almost crashed. I was like, what? Oh my goodness.
No, dude, my phone kept going off while I was at work and it was just like TikTok, 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 TikTok. And I was like, what the fuck is going on?
No way. This was actually reported on Fox. Oh my God. Hold on, you guys. Let me look. What? Do we have breaking news? 8 minutes ago? What? Get everybody in here, you guys. Share this out. Get everybody in here. Get everybody.
Call the masses. We got some work to do. Social media, our boys coming alive. So are the people who support the victims in the Idaho 4 case. Have you fucking met me?
In here. Oh my, I gotta call Carlos right now. And oh my God, I'm freaking out. Are you guys freaking out? Actual innocence is my truth. Brian Kohberger now wants a trial per New York Times report. Get out of here. Listen.
Bill Thompson. The second this boy's got a shot at post-conviction relief, buckle up, Buttercup. And Ashley Jennings, you better get especially ready.
Listen to the article. Almost 13 months after he pleaded guilty, Brian Kohberger claims he's innocent and says he will fight his conviction for killing 4 University of Idaho students. Are you serious, you guys?
Wow. The way she read it, y'all, people are tearing Laura Mathias apart because the way she sits there and dramatically talks about these poor victims and their cases. These fucking heifers are all giddy and excited, and they're probably fucking thanking God trauma ain't looking at them.
Oh my God. Oh
my fucking God, I know it blows me away.
Oh my God. We've been vindicated. Let's go. Oh my God, you guys. This is crazy. Oh,
whoop, whoop. We're going to whip it up now with the lady stuff. This is how it's one thing. If Richard Allen is granted a new trial, I guarantee you're going to see a party on the internet by some people. Some are going to cry foul. Y'all do you. Get excited if you want. Everybody who deserves a new trial should be granted a trial. And I don't want to have a fucking party to celebrate. I want to have a discussion and a conversation. These people are disgusting. I can't sit here and say this is bad when I know there's going to be a party in September if the same thing happens for Richard Allen. It's not how you celebrate, it's what you're celebrating. Is there a celebration at all to be had? I think it's pretty fucking sad when a man is stuffed into a prison never to see the light of day and we don't know what happened at trial because it's all done in the dark. I will applaud a new trial based on those merits. Not because my life just got a little better today because my friend's getting out of prison.
My gosh, bubbly! Everybody get in here. Get in here. Sure.
Not the bubbly waters. Is that heifer still around? The bubbly waters? Oh.
This out, you guys. Yes, breaking news. Breaking news.
Plead, pled. Who the fuck cares? Tomato, tomato.
Kohberger is withdrawing his plea deal. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Blue did it. You know, bringing all this stuff out. Yeah. Bringing all the information out. I mean, all the hard work. Where's Lana? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This is crazy. You fell off your chair. Thank you so much. Let's do this. Here we go. Here we go. This is amazing. Are you guys I'm so pumped up right now. Oh my God. Oh my God. Brian Kohberger is retracting his plea.
Clock it. Thank you.
Clock it. And it was a 7-minute old article.
And holy shit, you guys. Yes, this is very real. Yes, this is very real. Amazing. Freaking amazing. Oh my God. This sounds so confident. It's not even funny. This is such a confident statement. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I got chills, bro. This is so crazy. This is so crazy. Guys, wouldn't it be something? No, I don't know anything. Let me just put that out there because people read into shit. I don't know anything. What if the Netflix thing coming out in 2 freaking days has actual factual, like real information in it? And this is like, it has something to do with this.
Well, I don't know. You went live on TikTok and said, don't go watch that Netflix thing and to get your information. Come to YouTube and get it from me because Netflix just lied to you. Dylan was not asleep all night. We just watched your video saying that last night. Or was that this morning? My days and nights are running together with you freaks.
That would be insane.
Oh,
Hello, everyone.
Not you again. Hey, girl. Hey.
It's Sam and Ron. We are missing Kristen, although she should be calling in.
Guys, this is a video put together by, for fuck's sakes, Vivian. The Gonzalez family posted it on their Facebook page. They want the world to see what they're dealing with. Like I said on my show this morning, I don't feel sorry for the Gonzalez family. I feel sorry that people can't see what they want us to see.
So we should get a little of her thoughts today. I think is a big day for everyone in the Idaho 4 community.
This is huge. This is what we've been looking for and what we've been questioning. And things are going to get really, really interesting now here, Sam. I'm thrilled that he's making the attempt now because I don't want to see an innocent person in prison for the rest of his life.
Oh, we've been right all along. Welcome to the best channel on YouTube. Welcome, because
oh girl, you one of the worst.
Turns out we were actually right 4 years ago. Wow. Hello. And guys, we were right. We have been right since day 1. I can't wait for the trial. In my opinion, from what I have seen, this young man, Mr. Koberger, is not guilty.
This is crazy that this happened days before that documentary.
Do they think he wants to take his plea back? He's going to walk in and say not guilty? He stood silent in Idaho, never once maintaining his innocence. And if you listen to Cyree with a critical mind and you pick up what he's putting down because you know facts of the case per court documents, you see the problem's not that Koberger didn't do it. That's not the problem here. But you can't convince these little ticky-tacky people of that.
Is supposed to drop. God, I love karma. Happy Monday night. It feels like a Friday to me. I had my brother-in-laws and my sister-in-law over, and I had to kick them out of the effing house. I was like, get out of the effing house, because there's a chance that Brian Koberger could be exonerated. And
whoa, get out of here, family. Koberger comes first, you fucking idiots. Get out of my house. Go home. I got to go live on the TikTok and talk about Brian Koberger's penciled in a little thingy. Now, I'm all for your rights, Koberger. You do you. I'll be the first one to grant you whatever you need if your rights were violated. Ann Taylor may have laid the groundwork brilliantly. We'll see. It's yet to be discovered. If that happens, I'm gonna be kind of floored though. It's like I go, damn, that was a crazy theory, but damn. We're gonna have to wait and see what happens here. Yeah, it's hard to get post-conviction relief, but not on the grounds Brian Koberger is alleging. And the fact that his own attorney stood in open court and laid out all the reasons she was ineffective. Y'all don't let people tell y'all there's nothing to any of this. He's still got hurdles to climb, right? He's got a lot. The judge has already denied access to sealed documents. But I don't know if that was Koberger filing that or if it's the new attorney on board filing that. And Andy, thank you for that part of that conversation. It's a lot to unpack, guys, but we're trying to make it make sense. Because it's easy to say it don't make sense and just be baffled. No, I like to go make it make sense if I can.
Dylan Mortensen and all of her sketchy friends are indeed the reason why. Woo!
What?
Sketchy, because they have all been caught lying since the beginning, and the internet is not done talking about it until all of the right people are behind bars.
Until all of the right people are behind bars, including the surviving roommates that the cops have said done nothing. But they made bad decisions all night. We know that. Other than that, what did they actually do?
I said, get the F out of my house. We got to get on live, you guys. The show is on. Let's fucking go. So I don't know about you guys, but if you haven't heard, there's a chance Brian Koberger could be exonerated, and Dylan Mortensen and all of her sketchy friends are indeed the reason why.
Dylan Mortensen and all her sketchy friends are the trauma. What are y'all called these days? Trauma, drama, whatever. Did y'all hear that?
Sketchy, because they have all been caught lying since the beginning, and the internet is not done talking about it until all of the right people are behind bars.
Oh,
I was not expecting this today.
Girl.
Let's go. Nobody in my household is on my level. My husband is not on my level with this. So when everybody was like, I have nobody to talk to about this or whatever, don't worry. We have each other, you guys. Let's go.
What's your husband really think? Oh, God, I wish I could get some supper. Some loving even. She's giving all her loving to the Brian Koberger.
I can't fly.
Oh, hell. Lady, you jump scared me. Stop it.
Because of my pituitary condition, but I do not care. I am going to the trial if I have to hitchhike.
She got a pituitary condition, and she don't care if she's got a hitchhike to get to the trial? Lord help us. She got a pituitary condition, but she's going to hitchhike to the trial. Okay, lady, you gonna take some water, snacky poo.
Do you think someone would really try and harm you over this? Yes. This case is dangerous.
It's dangerous? What about it is dangerous? I might piss off some loudmouths on the internet. Are they going to go all real life on me like Laura Mathias and dox me because I said something? I'm scared to death. Your lady, you may not be wrong. We got that Laura Mathias lady loves to dox people like Alex Zabel. 2 peas in a pod. 2 peas in a pod.
The actual reasons for this happening are dangerous. Anybody who believes that this happened because one of these girls rebuked Brian Koberger's romantic advances is completely lost.
Who said that these girls were harmed because they rebuked his advances? Where did she get that story from? Has she been around for a long time? She's missing. Lady, go talk to Jules. Lady, Jules said to get off the TikTok and come to YouTube. She's got all the answers.
Okay, you guys. I'm crying like a baby right now. I was just on Kim's Typically Unique, and breaking news came through about Brian. I guess it happened yesterday. And I'm going to read this to you, if I can get through it. I'm just shaking right now.
She's shaking.
Over a year later, it is self-evident.
Well, we've heard they got something for that shaking.
That in the State versus Koberger, justice was not served.
Oh my God, is she crying? Look, if Rick Allen gets granted a new trial, I'm going to be happy, but I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to get up and do the jig for y'all. I'm not doing cartwheels, somersaults, and flips. None of that's happening. I promise. So if you're here for all that, you're going to be disappointed.
Oh my God.
No.
You guys, this is so big.
Oh my God.
Oh
my God.
You guys, thank you. Thank you for being there for support in all channels. Support for Brian mostly. Excuse me. I just literally woke up and this is this is the best news ever.
Hey, roll out of the fucking bed, do the Koberger. And go into meltdown modes and having crying, going live. You could have at least got your coffee together, washed your face and combed your hair, and then went live and had a sensible conversation about what just happened. You could have.
Right? Oh my gosh, I could not have had better news. I mean, this is just amazing. Can we just be quiet for 30 seconds and just say a prayer for Brian?
What?
A prayer of
fuck that. Stop. Stop it. If you want to pray for Brian Koberger, be my guest. Jesus loves everybody. But there's a heartbroken family to this day who has no real answers about Brian Koberger because the state of Idaho has chosen to play with the FBI and hide every single thing about their investigation into Brian Koberger. Everything. You have to ask yourself why. Don't pop off with your cute, that's the FBI, Salty. Where's the investigation documents into Brian Koberger? You don't want transparency? You don't understand court proceedings? You don't understand why certain things are in court documents? Why it has to be there? Maybe you should not true crime. If you seriously got to ask those questions.
Protection, innocence, because we know he is. To get the words right, to say to everything he needs to say, for people to come forward. Let's pray for people to come forward for him, right? Because he deserves this. Okay.
Who the fuck's coming forward? He didn't have any friends. You mean, the people in Moscow who know the truth, they're going to start coming forward now? I've been waiting on them to find proof of 3 years something else happened in that house and nobody's found it yet.
Some of that grounding to Brian. Oh man, I wish, I pray that he gets his feet in the grass sometimes. If there's any in there, I wish I could send him a chunk of grass. I mean, I would just send him a chunk every day if I could.
What?
Thank you so much. I know this has been hell on you. I can't even imagine what it's been like. But oh my gosh, I knew it.
Now again, this video was posted to the Gonzalez family page. They want the people to know what the fuck they're dealing with. And I'm listening, Gonzalez family. I don't get tunnel vision.
So good, you guys. This is good.
And I ain't full of my own fucking shit neither.
We've done it. I hope you guys are proud of yourselves in this community, because you should be.
Dun, dun, dun. That's the intro. We interrupt this broadcast to bring you a special bulletin. Breaking news, y'all, and it's exciting. Brian Koberger finally made a statement after all this time, and he is now seeking to withdraw his guilty plea. What? When the news broke yesterday, y'all, when the news broke, I was in my car and I was driving and I screamed and then I punched my teenage son in the arm. I was so excited. So since yesterday, I've been over here like,
ma'am, what? She's spinning. You can't say you punched your child on the YouTube. One of them trauma drama people will call the CPS on you.
Giggling, kicking my feet. I was really starting to think the man was never going to say a word. But the day we have waited on is here. It's a good day. It's a good day, y'all. Patsy ain't good enough for me. I need the real killers to be held responsible.
Oh, shit, girl. Patsy ain't good enough for her, y'all. Nope. She needs the real killers. Are your kids all safe at home tonight, lady? Do you have any?
I think a lot of apologies should come.
Oh, God, not the Pavarotti of it all. I can't fucking stand this dude. Where did you come from, actually? You ain't been around from the get-go. You wrote in on a song, too, one day with a big YouTube channel. Gonna talk about the pro-burgers because Koberger didn't do it. Who are you, sir? I've asked that question since the day you popped onto the scene. While everybody's falling all over Pav over there. I'm like, y'all are crazy. I'm staying way the fuck over here because something ain't right over there. Is it, Pav? He's probably going, who the fuck is she? Who's that lady? This lady's a little bit of everywhere. Y'all just need to be weary of where she might be.
Way, because I believe I am the only person who has consistently said from the time that the plea deal happened to this very day that the Kohberger defense team, Brian Kohberger.
You can't watch whose stupidity, Happy. We're not. What happened? We're not watching this for fun, y'all. We're watching this to see what the Gonzalez family sees that they're sick of seeing. And all these people, I don't watch none of these people, but I know who the YouTubers are, don't I, Pav? I know who you are. I know all the fuckery you've put out in over 2 years in this case. Because I, for one, I don't play in the weeds. I don't get lost in the crime, drama, trauma. I pay attention to what matters. And I know all the misinformation and bad decisions you've unleashed into this community. Every fucking bit of it. So y'all don't think these people aren't irrelevant. They're fucking relevant to the pro-burgers and to that loud voice that the family cannot stand any longer. And y'all need to see it. Now, if Crime, Trauma, Drama can go live and point out all of Lauren's misgivings and everybody's in the chat cheering it on, we're here for it. I'm just pointing out the fuckery from the Idaho 4 case. From the looks of the numbers, nobody's here for it.
Kohberger himself had a plan all along, and this day would come.
My thumbnail probably confused them. It's a discussion about a missing child's case. No fun in that, Salty. No fun in that.
And you know what? This day is here now. So to all my critics and haters out there, take a step back for Pavi Swami. The actual, this is a, I don't have a New York Times subscription, so I've got to read the second-rate article from the Statesman. Actual innocence is my truth. A statement by Brian Kohberger himself now wants a trial, per New York Times report. Kevin Fixler had to pull up his little panties to write this one. But Pav.
Oh, Pav. Oh, Pav. Oh, Lordy. You wanted to talk about somebody pulling up their panties. Sir. Y'all quit putting weird fake backdrops behind you. We all know they're fake, you dumb fuckers.
Pavi Swami is alert and ready. Brian Kohberger reached out to the dadgum New York Times, gave a statement. What does his statement say? I'm innocent, withdraw my plea. Garza v. Idaho. Freaking Sire laid it out. This case is over. I'll be there to shake your hand when they release your innocent butt, Kohberger. Pops.
Oh, Pavarotti. Y'all hear that? You're going to be there one day. When they release Brian Kohberger, Pavarotti is going to be out there waiting to sign his tit. I was putting that kindly because it's probably his other part.
Out.
I'm not vulgar today.
Holy moly.
Oh, good golly. Who is she? Who is she?
Holy guacamole. What in the macaroons is going on today, you guys? Oh my gosh. What a happy Monday, you guys. This is in freaking sane. Yes. Definitely heard the news super early this morning. Boom. Brian Kohberger's statement. So.
Oh, that's the Bronx Tales girl. You're on the list too, honey. We didn't forget you. You started running over there wanting to shit. You and Jules found your way to. Jules don't like people. And she likes to be her lone wolf status. But you, I guess, she talked to you at some point. I saw a video y'all did together. I don't know what y'all talked about, though. I can only imagine. But this is who this is. This is Bronx Tales.
Here.
She got tall tales from the Bronx. I don't know.
We are. Here we are. So we need to start getting ready for a trial, right?
Oh, yeah. Trial tourist. Lauren, we know you like to go to Kohberger's hearings, ma'am. Or you got your media pass ready?
I know, right?
Oh, you can hang out with the Bronx Tale. Lauren, hey, I got an idea. Lauren said she wasn't welcome in those rooms anymore where she belongs. I got a group of women, Lauren, that may invite you with open motherfucking arms. If you spin their narrative.
Oh.
It is rare for defendants to win post-conviction challenges. Okay, negative Nelly. Jeez.
Is she talking to Google? Siri?
What a crazy day this has turned out to be. That's for sure. All right, so we got a good.
Oh, this guy, I don't remember I forget his name, but he freaks me out. Tried to watch him once for a review like a long time ago, and he freaked me out so bad I couldn't do it. I had to go. It's like, I don't even care.
Discussion here tonight because, guys, this is like the true crime followers' Christmas morning here today with this news. Brian Koberger finally speaks out.
Simi, I only know who a few of them are because years ago, we were all just starting to unpack the Idaho 4 case. And of course, if you're not a pro-burger, you're not going to know who any of these people are. Y'all, they only cover one thing. That's why you don't know who they are. They built their channels on the backs of the Idaho 4 case, and they can't fucking let it go. So of course you're not going to know who they are. But the G's are trying to tell y'all who they are. I've been trying to tell y'all who they are. But if we don't care about the family, we can just all get off the internet right now. We can shut it down. Y'all don't even got to be here to watch any of it. But to point it out, it needs to be done. No, we don't like to watch them. Who would want to, unless you know what you're going to look for, right? These channels aren't providing you any other true crime content. They're not covering Nancy Guthrie. They aren't covering Clancy. They aren't covering Sebastian Rogers. They aren't covering anything Nolan Wells. No. Only Idaho 4. But that little group of people are about to kick it into high motherfucking gear, and y'all cannot believe me or not. At this point, I don't care anymore who believes me or not. It's coming. Buckle up, buttercups. And we're just trying to show y'all what to be ready for. Not that you gotta be ready for a damn thing, but the families have to see it, and they're fucking sick of it. We're just trying to get a different narrative out there. The other side, that this guy hurt a bunch of people. He hurt their family. Hear this, hear that, right? I'm not going to change people's minds on the internet, but I can push information out there that gives them a different perspective to then go make up their own damn minds. But please, God, you know, when we were reviewing, somebody was reviewing Joe Schmo, my teardown of Joe Schmo, and made the comment, I would never be friends with this guy. No, but you're friends with a bunch of other people that are questionable. So don't do that. That's not a good look, because I don't miss stuff like that. I don't miss comments like that.
Michael, what is your just first reaction to that? I mean, did you doubt it? Did you think it was real?
Oh, well, I'm elated. Finally, he speaks up for himself.
Simi, all we can do is laugh at them, honey. Some of them are downright dangerous with their rhetoric, if you want to look at it as far as what they say about the surviving roommates, right? I mean, if you're not a crazy lady on the internet and you can understand Dylan was just an innocent, drunk, young girl and it's what the fuck it was, they're tearing her to pieces on the internet. And I'm not going to say, well, I can't watch them, so therefore I ignore it. No, hell fuck no, I'm watching it. And I want to make sure all of y'all see what's out there and why the G's are frustrated. Imagine how you feel. I don't want to see that. I don't want to watch that. Imagine how they feel. Oh, they should just stay off the internet, right? And then they won't see it. It don't work like that in the real world. It just doesn't.
And I'm glad that this is happening. Everybody that's watching this tonight, you guys should all take a bow, because it's not just the creators that deserve, the applause, so to speak.
Not just the creators that deserve the applause, so to speak. You mean all you misinformation spreaders, rumor spreaders, lie tellers instead of truth tellers? How about the creators trying to do it right? Start pushing back a little bit.
But everybody that's in this community, because
I honestly don't give a fuck. If people want to scream Kohberger's innocent, do you, boo? Go fight the good fight. But leave the family alone in the process. You weird vultures. Weird vultures. Trauma vultures. Leave the family alone.
no matter from what happens from this point on, we know that Kohberger has noticed all the support from people like us, and for our continued investigation. He mentioned,
boom, boom, boom. Kohberger has noticed the support from the people like us. Well, people like me are going to support the family all day long and twice on Sunday, and probably on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday too. We're going to do all the days. Not the day it suits me, not the day it's popular. Every fucking day. Without question. And Cyree, like I said, is the only one for all the Cyree haters. He didn't say Kohberger didn't do it. Were you paying attention? But he's providing the families with answers they have been begging for and craving. And they asked him to come and talk to them. So get all the way over yourselves.
It in his
pretending to know what's best for a family.
In his statement.
Said pretending.
We're going to get to that, but I think it's awesome. I think it's a total vindication from people that called us kooks and nuts and everything. I'm sure
this is a big, this could be the biggest day.
Oh, devil's advocate. You wrote in on a song too, didn't you, sir? Y'all some late to the players motherfuckers here. Where you at, Dago? They all swallow you up and spit you out to the wolves, sir. What happened, Dago? Where you at in this little... Where you at? I know Vivian can't leave your ass out, or did she? She had put you in your own little video.
In years. And it was worth a little wait, in my opinion. And we had a sizzle reel ready to go on the night of a big, huge news. Lots of, oh my gosh, there's so much to talk about tonight. Holy shit. Like, it doesn't get bigger. Well, it could get a little bit bigger than this.
Bum. Speak of the devil. He couldn't be far. He's right there, bottom left, coming in, motherfucking hot. Hey, Dago, old pal of mine. How you doing, buddy? Wink, wink. Wink. What up? You still secretly think Kohberger might have done it? Oh, I shouldn't have said that out loud. People might hear it.
But this is a monumental.
This is big enough for today. I've had all I can take for today. I'll be honest with you. So yeah.
Are you sure? I could be lurking in the background. You never know, right?
Yeah.
And
it's a very special day. So for all of us waiting and grilling and doing all this stuff for years or months or however long, maybe something is actually finally happening.
Today is a blessed day. Actually, every day I believe is a blessed day. But
fuck, is that Bubbly? Is that Bubbly Waters? Or what's that other girl's name? I'm scared to death right now. Hold on. Where's the smudge?
Today we got in some good news, and I hope everyone heard about it. But it's good. It is really good, because the truth, no matter what, needs to come out. Somebody definitely frame it. Hallelujah. The truth will set you free. You must be watching us, YouTube creators, watching all of us people on TikTok, and that the world won't give up on the case because there's so many loopholes. Honestly, I'm really happy that Kohberger took his time.
But it is absolutely crazy. Oh, man.
Oh, Birdie, you came in late too. But people...
I remember I called Mrs. Birdie and she's like, I have goosebumps. It's so weird. This is one of those moments that I feel like I probably will never forget. I will never forget where I was when I saw this news break, that something we have all been diving into for years, every night, 7 p.m. Central, whether it was on TikTok, whether it was on YouTube.
Weird, because I won't forget the day I heard Abby and Libby were missing. I don't forget the day I heard 4 college students murdered in a house. I don't forget the day I woke up in bed at 17 years old listening to the radio going, what am I actually hearing? A space shuttle blew up? They launched it I remember thinking, I'm laying there sleeping, hearing this, going, What in the hell are they talking about? They were launching that space shuttle this morning with the teachers on board and all the. I'm in Florida. I know these. They're in my state doing it, so I know what's going on out there. And it took me an hour of laying in my bed listening to that before I could ever get out of my fucking bed to see if it was real. Dude, y'all gonna remember where people still remember what happened, where they were the day Kennedy was shot. These people having full-on meltdowns and will remember for the rest of their natural lives where they were the day they found out Koberger penciled a little thingy to the judge. Okay.
Wherever we were.
Life's big monumental moments.
Everybody showed up here. We dove into this case, and to have the validation in a way that Brian, he's able to talk. He's able to say something. It's just like, wow.
Wow.
Wow. I know what you all are thinking, because I'm sitting here thinking the exact same thing. Holy shit. Brian Koberger just told the New York Times that he wants his guilty plea back, that it was built on false promises, a bunch of misinformation and lies, essentially, something that we've been calling out for years. And to finally see Brian Koberger talk. Wow. When you heard this news, what was your first thought? Simply Samantha and Tripsy Turvy both said, finally. Abigail said, absolutely insane. Shantae Nicole Cray Cray said, I'm very curious. I'm excited for him. Allie said, finally. Katie the Gardener said, yes, I knew it. Dandy Deb said, no, I thought of you first. Oh, nice. Thank you, Dandy Deb. Appreciate that. Chloe said, excited. Justice. Motherfunker said, about damn time. It's all sus said, ironic timing was my first thought. Jess of the Nest said, I thought it was fake. Crazy Bird Lady said, I screamed and scared the kids. I can absolutely.
You screamed and scared your babies? CH, who was the Christian pastor who did the money train goals? I don't know. I don't know. It's been a minute. If they gone, I may have a bad memory. There's been so many that come and go and some who never leave.
Feel that everybody feels a little bit of vindication. Somebody close to him has absolutely.
We ran one right off the YouTubes. Oh, where you at? Where you at, Rory / actor? Where'd you go, Rory? I did some stuff on YouTube, didn't I, Mr. Actor?
Been watching the landscape of the internet, channels like this, channels like many other in the Idaho 4 community. And I feel like that was a little nod to people like us who tirelessly looked at every little thing.
Koberger's giving them all a little nod because they've looked at every single thing. Sleuthy was on his channel once. A pastor's channel? I don't know. I'm missing something, CH. Sleuthy Goosey? Okay, Simi apparently knows what you're talking about. I do not. What are y'all talking about? I'm intrigued.
About this case.
I just want to start this video out by saying I will accept apologies in the form of cash.
Now, back in the early days, Sleuthy would go over and we would all be at Dago's community. And I think one time Sleuthy got on panel, it was to talk to WSU mom Kim, but I think he let Jules on panel at the same time. But Sleuthy, she knows Sleuthy does Sleuthy. Sleuthy's in and out, right? Sleuthy sweetheart. Okay, not Goosey. Y'all gotta say the whole names. Stop it. I don't want to confuse the Sleuthies and the Goosies and the Salties and the Sleuths. We're not doing all that. Please say whole names. I don't know much about the Sleuthy sweetheart. I don't know about a pastor. Yeah, so CH is talking about Sleuthy Goosey. I thought so because I know CH, and if the word Sleuthy comes up, we know that to be Sleuthy Goosey. So Simi is saying Sleuthy sweetheart. I don't think that's correct. We're talking about Goosey. Okay, yeah, don't confuse me now.
For everyone who came at me and said, "Oh, you're a pro-burger. Oh, you're supporting a." Oh, what a turn of events that I'm happy to report on today. Kings, queens, and internet cousins, Brian Koberger has changed his plea deal from guilty to not guilty, like I stated from the beginning. Now, if you guys have been following this case for long enough, I believe that Brian Koberger is innocent of the slaying of the 4 Idaho students.
I am so damn glad he's doing this. We got your back, dude.
I would love to say I would love for him to go to trial, but now I'm nervous about a trial because Bill Thompson never made sense. Taking a plea deal never made sense. And when the plea deal was posted online by Brian Enton, it said Koberger taking plea deal. I look, it was all it was. I'm like, what? Like, is this real? Because it's not even an elaborate, it's just, that's all it fucking said. And it didn't seem right because I know how hard Ann Taylor was ready to fight for that guy. Ann Taylor said he was innocent. Ann Taylor was ready to go balls to the walls and fight that court for Brian Koberger. Something changed. Was it mother? No, I don't think it was. I don't really think it was now. That was my first assumption. Mother doesn't like the death penalty. She honest to God doesn't. But I think there's a little more to it now. But y'all go right ahead and be all giddy about his new thing. I wanted the trial to shut this shit right here down. Don't know that it will. Can't control that. But I'm not so sure a new trial is what is in the best interest here. Pammy, I did a whole thing about it this morning. I talked about it last night. I'm going to continue to elaborate because I've got all the timeline. I've said it from the beginning. IGG was always the problem. And I played a video this morning from the police chief telling everybody we didn't tell Moscow we found that car. Not once but twice. But the probable cause affidavit tells you that's exactly how it happened. That's a problem. Using IGG to get to the client and reverse engineering an investigation without proper warrants is a problem. Because when they tell you we got Koberger's name from an August body cam, we got his number, excuse me, let me back that up. We got his number from a body cam. Show me the date you filed that warrant on that phone number. And I'll tell you if you got it from IGG or if you got it from that traffic stop after WSU told you, hey, we got a car 16 hours after the bolo went out. So when people tell y'all this is a nothing burger, they don't know what they're talking about, unfortunately.
I mean, I'm just happy to see this. I hope that he gets exonerated. I mean, hello, he says it right there. There's evidence that would exonerate him. I just hope that it all works out.
She looks like she didn't finish getting her nap out.
For Brian. I haven't listened to anything in about a week because I've had other things going on and I can't keep piling it on mentally. I'm a very empathetic person and I'll just walk around crying and
oh my God, she's got the Megan syndrome, y'all. She got Megan syndrome. She walks around full of empathy and cries. She's crying for Brian Koberger. You don't cry for the victims. No empathy for the victims at all. No empathy for Richard Allen. Constitutional freedom fighters over here. That's what you're here for, right? The wrongfully incarcerated. Where's all that noise for Rick Allen? I've asked that question for 2 years. What about the cranks? What about them? The cranks are just a bunch of people who like to run around and spit knowledge and facts about the case, sharing vital information. That's what a crank does. And whoever coined that cute little term and they all accepted it made us look like a bunch of idiots. They're people trying to share valuable information about cases. No loud TikTok experience. No thousands of TikTok girls going live about Rick Allen. Not one. because no one really cares about the Constitution. Not y'all, these people. They're lying to themselves, to their followers. We want justice. We don't like injustice. They couldn't even fucking recite part of the Constitution. They don't even know what amendments to throw at this.
Sometimes don't understand why, but it's probably because of all this information I take in and I absorb it. And I gotta take a break every once in a while. So
what's the pro-burgers theory? It's never changed since November 13, 2022. The pro-burgers theory is Bryan Kohberger did nothing wrong. He wasn't in the house or near the house. None of that happened. He was out stargazing. It was a big frat fight at the frat house. It was the friends' own friends who came into that house and unalived them. They all knew about it. The whole entire fucking town knows about it, according to the pro-burgers. Dylan and Bethany were a part of it and performed a cleanup afterwards. All the friends know about it. They're all actively covering up what really happened. And the state of Idaho is glad to play right along with them. Take your pick, Simi. Frat fight, love triangle, some tunnels under the house, and they were all doing drugs and selling drugs and dumping drugs out. We heard Maddie flushed pounds of fentanyl down the toilet. That little tiny door in Bethany's room, that was the trap door to the tunnels. Didn't you know? Simi, I never listened to. Let me tell y'all how this happened. Okay, I think I need to get real right now about something, because I think people are grossly misinformed. That we were flocking to these channels in droves. No. Breaks the fuck on a minute. Here's what happened. We're all in a large true crime community. This case happened. All right? We were already talking about the case. Then we get the probable cause affidavit. 6-hour gap. Excuse me? We got questions, right? People began to ask questions as they're allowed to do. But the rumor mill with this case went completely off the motherfucking charts. People lost their shit. WSU Mom Kim wrote in high and mighty. Drunk Turkey and a lot of other people propped her up to be some fucking do-gooder and platformed her ass all over YouTube. And WSU Mom Kim told the masses that everybody in Idaho was lying and covering this shit up. They all knew about the crimes before the vandal alert ever went out. They knew about the crimes before 911 was called. They were all Snapchatting each other and doing nefarious activities in the background. The train left the track day one. And when we were in that chat in real time, Butterfly knows, trying to unpack it, trying to reel the people back in and be the voice of reason, they didn't want to fucking hear it. To the point, if you didn't shut up and fall in line, that Kohberger's innocent, you could get the fuck out the community. And then they would hope you go away forever. Well, we didn't all go away forever. No, we didn't. We're still here. And if we need to be as loud as the pro-burgers, we're going to do that. The families deserve it. If families want help, give it to them. If families want me to come out here and scream it so they don't got to keep doing it, fine, I'll do that. Not that I'm picking a side or a narrative. I'm on the side of what I think is right. See, if I thought these families were sus and done something, I wouldn't even be up here talking about it. I'd stay the fuck out of it and mind my business.
apologize. It's not that I don't care. I care a lot. A lot, a lot, a lot. Anyway, I hope this works out. I hope it works out for him. I really do.
It's truly unbelievable that these people are cheering for a quadruple murderer. They want to free a quadruple murderer.
And the thing about this lady, she's been around as long as I have. She's seen all the fuckery. Butterfly was in that same community with me as all of this was being unpacked in real time, and we're listening to all of this, and it was so hard to decipher through all of it, right? But common sense and logic should take over for most people, and for a lot of them it did, and they dipped out. But for some of them, oh hell no, they're still riding on that shit, still riding on it today. Hey Deanne, welcome in. How are you? She says, I'm a WSU alum, and it's so sad to hear how badly they dropped the ball on this. Oh gosh, yes. Also went to high school with Ethan's mom, Stacy. Aw, we were on the same track team. We went to state when I was. Aw, that is so nice. She's amazing. People have had their, their feels about Miss Chapin as well, because she handles her, everything, her grief, everything way very differently than the other family, and that's okay too, right? She caught heck on YouTube because she wasn't vocal enough for some people. So it's not just the Gonzalez family. I could Cluminati, before she went and wreaked havoc in Sebastian Rogers, she wreaked havoc in Idaho 4 and took shots straight at Stacy Chapin. It was disgusting. Your niece just took a job on the social media for, oh, that's nice. Ethan Smile Foundation is a great foundation. The tulips are beautiful. That's such great work, Deanne.
Much that they're cheering at their child's soccer game, not for their child, but for a quadruple murderer. And they're punching their child in the arm because they're excited about a quadruple murderer trying to get out of prison. Excuse me while I go take a shower to wash off all of that gross slime from these people. Like, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Why do you want to free a quadruple murderer? And how dare you get on your lives and your podcasts and talk about how you just want justice for Kaylee, Maddie, Xana, and Ethan? No, you don't want justice for them. You just want to free their murderer. So, yeah, I'm going to go take a shower now and do better. Okay?
Yeah, do better. Yeah, Hybrid, a lot of people didn't know her before Sebastian Rogers, but I sure did. I sure did. I knew Truth before any of y'all knew about him and Sebastian Rogers, because they were in the same community I was a part of. Clue came in because she went up to this guy named Detective John took Dago to church, and Clue went over there and took up for him. We didn't even know who the hell we all knew who she was, but she was not like in the community, right? She just was doing her thing out here making weird YouTubes about Idaho 4 and calling Stacy Chapin names. And then that Truth guy shows up one day, starts making comments in the Sebastian Rogers case. The next thing you know, of course, Dago will panel any fucking buddy. We've seen the cannibal guy come on and talk about. Remember that, Butterfly? Oh, good Lord, eye roll. Let's try to forget it. He'll panel anybody. So that's when they met, right then and there in that community. So it started before Sebastian Rogers. Because them trauma channels with all the facts. They don't know all the facts. They can't even keep the names straight of the players. All right. I feel like I need to go to sleep for 25, 30 hours. It's almost 9 o'clock at night, and I feel like the day, I don't even know how it got. I don't even know where it went. All right, guys, we got you back in the morning. We will be covering the Lindsay Clancy trial. Like I said, it was something we talked about before the case ever went to trial. A weekend prior, I was like, we're going to cover this because it's a very important case, heavy subject and topic, but it's an important case going forward. So I appreciate y'all for coming in and watching that with us. The Rogers case wasn't drama, honey. The people were the drama. A distraught father came on the internet, and people immediately decided, I'm going to pick a side or accuse him. Then the stepdad comes on. Same thing. I'm going to pick a side or accuse him. And then what happened? Web sleuth. I was there for all of it. They all start, all kind of bullshit starts happening. And then that granny and that BJ lady get into a fight. And now everybody must pick a side, as if y'all forgot it was about Sebastian Rogers, not about Granny and BJ, right? Because every now and then they'll bring up Sebastian when they're over there arguing about it for hours upon hours. That's the drama of Sebastian Rogers' case. The people covering the case became the drama. Okay? But hey, they're here to call out true crime grifters. Meanwhile, a laundry list of vultures are out here going dead ass after family victims and surviving roommates. But that's okay. Will that get me a click and a view like the cash cow? Ooh, we'll do an experiment one night this week. Just stay tuned. We'll do an experiment one night this week and we'll prove it. We're going to prove it. Oh, I think they're on to me now. I think they know what I'm doing. I might have let the cat out of the bag. Oh, well. All right, guys. I'm going to go rest. I'm going to go chill out. I'm going to go have a good, decent night. I got all this energy from somewhere. I don't know where it's coming from. I'm like, what's going on here? What's Island? You know, that Chris Watts bullshit? What are y'all talking about? Yeah. Well, you know, Lana from Truth and Transparency, one of the truth seekers out there, makes videos about dead women like Shanann Watts. She did a little video, painted her face up, and pretended to have a gender reveal party because, you know, that girl thinks that Chris Watts was innocent. Y'all know that, right? Fundraising for him. A court document. A lot's going on. A lot went on with that. But hey, nobody on the internet cares about all that, Salty. She brings the business. Well, be careful when you go out there getting the business, and when Bob Mata's telling you to go watch Lana from Truth and Transparency, be like, Bob Mata, what? He's like, I like her because she stands on her convictions. Dude, do you know those convictions? Ay. Uninformed much. Right then and there, I knew. Right then and there, that very fine day, I knew. I'll come watch your wife when she talks about a subject I need a little bit of education on. Y'all go have a great day. Be safe on them YouTube streets and be careful where you get your information from. You might get steered in the wrong direction.
Thank you all for watching this here video.